Hey, 10 to mark, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Hands up as ever, and cute as can be. You can watch us on YouTube with me for free. Hey, this one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time wondering what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM.
What I have to do.
Don't tell me there can't be a Winter Classic here. You know what was funny to me yesterday? I'm watching the social media reaction to this, right? And you could just tell, and I know I'm guilty of this, right? You know, sometimes you guys say I have rabbit ears when it comes to South Florida hate.
Oh my God.
But you guys are really hating on the Winter Classic being down here now. Like, that's the national thing. How are they going to do it? Let me just get this straight. You think they would do it if they didn't know they could do it? Like, this has been not just kicked around. Like, they've thought about it for a while. If they didn't think they could do it, you don't think that, like, you think that they would just, hey, you know what? We'll just have a pond of water in the middle of South Florida.
How different or how less interesting it would be if you had the Winter Classic up in the snow. It's always cold there. They're trying to
spice it up,
right?
baby.
Exactly.
We're trying to spice it up. They're like, well, what? There's a winter. How are they going to do it? I don't know.
That's the interesting part.
We'll figure it out, dude.
Right.
How about you win the cup and then you can dictate where the Winter Classic is?
Is it really a Winter Classic if it's 80 degrees?
It is. But,
It's
hey,
in winter. During winter.
This is going to be the most intriguing Winter Classic of all time, Vlad. You'd agree.
Well, because
they did it in LA before.
Because here's the deal.
Hmm?
If it gets too hot, they can just close the roof.
Right.
So
It's like it's got to, like, they can just open up the windows. You know, it's a little bit of a wink, but we're just having fun, baby. What's the big problem? It's because they hate the cats. And you want to know something?
you know what's funny about this?
Stop.
They hate the cats,
Can
dude.
I when I did my hit yesterday?
Yeah.
What do you think the topic of conversation was?
Jimmy?
No.
Oh, Tyreek?
Nope.
Cam
And I'm talking
Ward?
about in Cleveland. Nope.
Winter hockey?
I don't know.
Why aren't the Cavs getting more love nationally?
Oh.
Every fan base
That's
is
fair.
the same damn way.
That's fair, though. I agree
But
with
every
that.
fan base is the same damn way.
They talk more about that game last night. Like, they had a game last night for the ages where it was
Yeah, it was a
a
good game.
15-game win streak. And what were the Cavs on? A 10?
A 10.
Like, that should have been up and down. And what are they talking about? You got Stephen A. Smith shaming Bradley Beal, which I want to get to because that's a very interesting dynamic that's happening. But they're right. As much as I don't like to admit it, and I'll never say these words again, Jay Crawford is right.
But every fan base is like that.
No.
No, not every.
Not Kansas City.
Oh,
Not
I don't
the
want to
big
hear
But
anything
I
from that.
bet you Buffalo is.
No.
Nah.
Yes.
No.
No. God,
Yes.
No, you can't be saying that if you've won 5 consecutive AFC East Division.
But
titles.
that's my point.
Yesterday, the Cats take on the Utah Hockey Club, which is still a ridiculous name. Come up with a name.
well,
Utes.
how
I'm
about
calling
this?
them the Utes.
You know, I did the game, right?
I saw that.
So I had to, you got to connect and everything.
Yep.
I'm like, checking the Comrex. Don't see Utah Hockey Club. Got to call, find out. They're still using the Arizona Comrex.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
'Cause
They
I
got
was-
the Yotes?
Yeah, because I was thinking, I was like, well, wait a minute. Maybe I got to use maybe I might have to use what the Heat might use for tonight because they're playing in Utah tonight. So I was like, maybe I got to use that. No, they're still using the Coyotes Comrex, but the Utah Hockey Club, they need a name.
Dude, it was so funny because even Paul Maurice, they go to him on the ice and he's like, we don't really know how to hate these guys yet. And I'm like, this is Paul. That's why I love Paul Maurice. He's like, we got to find, like, the Panthers are just so, they're so confrontational. They have to build up animosity for somebody. And he goes, all right, I get. And so what the Panthers just did is they decided in the end of the first period is we're going to spend this entire time Kachucking them, which is just Matthew Kachuk just running amok and hitting every Ute that he could.
All right.
Oh, hello, Jennifer.
Wow.
Wow.
It's funny you showed up when you didn't send out the beacon.
Yep. There she is, everybody.
When you didn't
A little
send
more, a little more. There you go.
when you didn't send out the beacon.
Yep.
Hello, Jennifer.
So what happened was Paul Maurice is like, yeah, we got to find out a way to hate them. And I think the thing that's funny about the Panthers that's become this is like, yes, very clearly all of their opponents hate their guts because Leroy, do you want to know why the Panthers here's the thing with the Panthers. They will fight anybody. And when I mean anybody because the boys, that's what they call hockey. The boys, they had a celebration the night before for
You know what? No.
What?
Now, you see how he just made that smug little comment? But then when I ask him hockey questions,
no.
he
You
get
got
mad.
you're absolutely
He got
right.
mad.
That's why I
You
laughed.
get mad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
He got
I'm sorry.
No. That's what they say in hockey. I was like, so if you know so much about hockey, which I did not know they call that the boys or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'll ask my boy Tobes a hockey question. Why do you always have to ask me hockey questions? Like I'm a hockey expert.
Well, it's okay. I didn't know how to pronounce Boqvist's first name yesterday, which by the way, it is Jesper.
I know it is.
It's we call him.
You know why? You know why?
Yeah.
There's a golfer.
He's,
His name is Jesper Boqvist.
is he Swedish?
Yes.
Ah.
So that's why I said it was Jesper.
That's why we call him the Yes Man.
Oh. Look.
-1.
He just trying to backtrack from that foolishness.
But even though
about-
even though it was a hard J, if you guys listen to Tobes yesterday, you hit on that 5-1 on a Jesper Boqvist goal because he had two of them yesterday.
Ooh.
He had two of them yesterday. But anyway, so Kevin Stenlund, a friend of the show.
Mhm.
Yesterday he's out there. All right, they say, "Oh, Stenny, come on, buddy," because they've been doing this tour like they did for Lomberg, where every time they get to a town where somebody was on the championship team, they did it for Montour, they did it for Lomberg. They have a dinner the night before. They give the guy his ring. It's really cool. Do you think that kept Niko Mikkola from hitting him and fighting him yesterday? No.
Dude, I'm like, I don't know what it is. And here's the thing. They annoy every other team so much that the other team wants to fight. But now they're like, oh, this is the area in which we live.
Yeah, we got you.
We've been waiting for this moment. Come get some. And then next thing you know, they go on a run.
Yep. Everything has just
A post-fight run is what I like to call it.
The cherry on top is always when the Panthers win. Final horn sounds, and then they're not going to leave the ice until they get one more fight at the Panthers. And I'm like, you guys lost. You're like, what do the kids call it today? Crashing out. That's what they do. They get the other team to crash out, take that L, and they're like, the kids say that.
No.
I mean, I'm not hip with the kids.
You know,
The kids say that, JFig. I'm not making that up.
You know what they call that? They call that being on tilt.
Yeah. What?
Being on tilt.
That's
Who says that? The boys?
It's poker,
That's
but
a
you
poker
can say
reference.
you can
Yeah,
say
you can
it's
say
a
it.
poker reference, but you use it in other places.
Yeah,
so
basically
where
when
you
you
just
crashing
get so
out.
mad you can't concentrate on
You
and
can't
do what
do
you're
anything.
supposed to do. So when that game ends and they done lost, and then they just go bat bleep crazy, on tilt.
It's just funny now because everybody's just like they go, all right, let's get welcome back to TNT, NHL on TNT. Well, I got to tell you, those Panthers, they gave a lot of fights. I'm like, man, aren't you guys supposed to like break it down in a more sophisticated way?
No, why didn't
they're
they
like-
say why does everybody want to fight the Panthers?
19. Number 19.
He really is. He is such a
And
pest.
then after the game, he's just so calm.
Yep.
Hey, well,
I mean, you hear him
that's
talk.
That's hockey.
You hear him talk. He's like the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
But he gets on the ice.
I think that's that
Menace.
Kachuk blood.
Absolutely.
Because even the older Kachucks look like they.
Except Grandma Kachuk. But you know, Grandma Kachuk probably has hit a bunch of them with like her purse.
Her pan.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
she used to pan on him.
You think so?
Yeah. Pan was like a hockey stick.
She's
She was.
probably the one that trained them to have that kind of mentality.
They all said they're afraid of her.
I would be too.
I like that.
Because she was the only one judging them when both Kachucks were fighting each other.
Yeah.
The younger brother's the one. He's a little bit wilder than Matthew.
He had the broken face pretty recently, right? Didn't his mouth guard? His mom got really. He said, "My mom's gonna be furious at me because I didn't wear the mouth guard."
Let me tell you, I broke my jaw with a mouthpiece. So
Ooh.
those mouthpieces.
Mm.
I mean, yep. I fell on the fullback was blocking in front of me.
Mhm.
Bunch, no small dude. He's like 6'3", 250, right? He tripped. He fell. Oh, no. Somebody tripped me, and I fell on the back of his heel. And his heel went up like this.
Oh.
And then when I got up, I was like, I'm having problems opening my mouth.
Wait a minute. How long? You had a broken jaw?
Yeah.
You had to eat through a straw?
Yeah.
That must have been the worst part of your life, time in your life.
Well, I wasn't even, first of all, this was the hardest thing for me. I refused to eat blended food. So they had to, so it was all shakes. And I had to drink 4,000, 3,500, 4,000 calories of shakes just to keep my weight, and I still lost weight.
Your stomach was not helping.
That's not fun.
Just like every like 2 hours, take a sip, drink this much, drink this much. It was brutal. But they made fun of me because they said, even with a broken jaw, we can understand fully what you're saying.
I believe that. Here's the yes man's goal yesterday. This was the game winner for the Cats.
Out of the near circle, Boqvist a shot, and that's wide. Over on the far side, Verhage is there. Looks out front, Jesper Boqvist, a shot, he scores! Jesper Boqvist from the slot. He was set up, he rips it. Glove side, pass from Elka. And the Panthers double their lead. It's 2-0.
They've really gotten to that point, too, with the empty netters, where they really start gambling really long in it. Because it was like 2-1. They're like, all right, we got to pull them. And Boqvist is just like throws a huge backhand, and it goes the whole way, and you're like, goal, game's over. Now you're down 2.
So he scored the only 2 goals.
No. He scored 2. One was an empty netter because it goes Rhino got in the first goal. Jesper put him up 2-0. Utes got on the board, and then they pulled their goalie with 2 minutes left. Boqvist hit a backhand for an empty netter, and then Lusterainen had one just to put the cherry on top.
So Jesper technically had the game winner because he scored the second goal.
Right.
I see. That's garbage.
You think it should be Rhino?
No, I just think that when you say game winning goal, I'm thinking third period, the score's tied. Not if the score's 1-0. If the score's 1-0 and you play 50 more minutes of hockey,
I got you.
That's not a game winner to me.
You think last minute, second.
Not last minute, but I'm saying if it's 2-2 and you score the third goal, that's a game winner. Not if it's
game decider.
Right.
Why do they even call it that? I think they call it the go ahead.
But I'm just like, but to say he had the game winning goal and he scored in the first period.
No, it was in the third.
He scored the
they scored goals in the second.
No, they scored the goal in the first,
and then
they were up 1-0, and then Jesper scored it early in the third, and then he had the empty
first minute. All right. I'm more, but that's a weird thing.
I get you.
You know what I mean? The go ahead that's when it's 1-0, right? And then but if it ends up being 1-0, they'll say the game winner. Which, come on, you can't have a game I've never scored a touchdown in the first quarter and said, this is the game winner.
Fair point.
Right. Okay.
Either way, Panthers do win. Back at it tomorrow or on Saturday. Saturday afternoon.
I don't even care about all that. You know what I'm thinking about. I know I'm gonna watch as much Panthers as I can in the middle of the night. I'm gonna get in all that. But it's Friday. Then Jimmy come back this Friday or next Friday?
No, it's next Friday. Okay. Next Friday.
Also the next Panthers.
They play
and the Panthers play Saturday.
Yeah, I meant Saturday. Saturday afternoon. Saturday.
On TV.
There's a game tonight though.
No,
Heat play tonight.
Yeah, he played tonight.
I'm talking about. Who's playing tonight?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Penn State. And
all right.
It's a weird. That's a weird game.
Why is it weird?
Because this game could be the equivalent of Army playing Navy. Because that's what they do well. And I think both teams are a little bit Notre Dame quarterback, he's a rusher. He's the third leading rusher with 700 yards.
Oh, there's not gonna be bombs over back.
But I'm saying,
they're not throwing the ball.
And the Penn State quarterback, he's a little skittish, right? So it's gonna be Army versus Navy. Or everybody gonna run the ball, might throw 3 passes.
All I want is for Al Golden to get embarrassed. That's all I want.
That ain't gonna happen. Oh, damn it. Not because of him, but because of their offense.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll take a break here on the show. Those headlines were brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose one with 1,300 new Hyundai miles of inventory. The Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. Back with more after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Miami Heat back on the hardwood tonight against the Utah Jazz. Revenge game. Jazz embarrassed the Heat last time they faced off.
And I don't think they care about all that.
Oh, I care, dude.
Yeah, you do.
I care about that. Don't embarrass me again.
Dude, I saw a replay of one of the coolest things.
What's that?
Bryce Young pulling a Steph Curry.
Oh, the no-look TV rig. I saw that too.
Okay.
Bryce Young had himself a little resurgence. A little resurgence.
Can we say that he also saw Lamar Jackson do that the day before?
Did he?
Lamar Jackson did that against Houston. No, not Houston. I'm sorry, Cleveland, where he threw a pass and then he turned around and did the Steph Curry celebration. So I think everybody in the NFL is going to start doing that now.
Until one of them throw a pick.
Unless, one of them does a Nick Young.
Oh, my goodness. Nick Young. Who was it? Nick Young that shot a ball from three-quarter court? They had 20 seconds left.
Probably. Nick Young did a lot of.
He did. He's the famous for the. He did the no look and it bricked. It was nowhere close.
Kemba Walker did that as well.
Oh yeah, he did the shimmy. He was like,
he did a shimmy.
It was. I was like, whoa, okay. That was something right there. That was something. But yeah, the Heat are back in action tonight. 9 o'clock is your tip from Salt Lake City. We had back-to-back days of taking on Utah. So we'll have that for you, of course, here, 560 WQAM.
You think the guys went to the game yesterday? You think the Heat players went to the Panthers game?
No, Markkanen was there.
Markkanen
was there. Markkanen was there, and I think Jordan Clarkson was. They made a big deal out of the Jazz. The Jazz owner also now owns Utah Hockey Club. D Wade now also is a piece of Utah Hockey Club, and they made a big deal of Markkanen being there.
I would have thought the Panthers.
But Markkanen, I think, is boys with Barkov because he's from Finland.
Right. I would have thought the Heat. I mean, there's nothing to do.
Not
with
like
Salt
you,
Lake.
like you wouldn't be friends with any other Finnish hockey player. It's not a very big place.
No, but there's not
It's
many,
like,
there's not many Finnish NBA guys.
I know all of the football players that are from New Orleans, pretty much.
No,
New Orleans is very small.
The Panthers and the Finns really do have a special connection, but I don't think there's many NBA guys.
And Heat players should have went to the Panther game yesterday. There's nothing to do in Salt
I think
Lake City.
Ira Winderman went to the Panthers game.
Nice, Ira.
I saw Ira there, or at least he tweeted pictures from
it. Is the one sport that TV doesn't do justice, and there's no way you can do it. You have to see. If you went and saw a hockey game live, it is a life changer. Like because when I was at Michigan, our hockey team was really good. They're usually always in the Frozen Four, they call it. It is just, it's different. College is different. They don't fight. But it's so fast. It is so fast.
Leroy.
Yeah.
Over under on non-intangibles at the game yesterday in Utah.
Jordan Clarkson?
Wait, he went to the game, right? Yeah.
That's what the
it?
owner said. They didn't show him. They showed Markkanen. I never saw
let me see. In Utah?
That's not working.
I got it.
Colin Sexton, was he there?
So we have to pull Utah Jazz players.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that makes up almost the whole 1.9%. Sports. Like, do they count all the Utah and the Utah State players? If you took sports out of Utah, I mean, how many non-intangibles would you have? Isn't Brigham Young in Utah?
It is.
I've seen a couple non-intangibles.
Who's the
because
guy?
they got to go. Here's the
They
thing.
just recruited that kid. Who's the kid that was on First Take?
Yeah, but when you go to school at Brigham Young, you got to sign up for the
honor
the retreat or whatever.
Yeah, you got to do a mission.
A mission.
I don't think you have to do a mission if you're going to be a basketball player.
Yeah, you did. Sean Bradley did.
Yeah.
That kid's not staying. But who's the kid they just got? That kid's not.
Or do you have to do it if you're Mormon?
Oh, you got yes.
I think you have to. What you have to do what you have to do. Most Mormons just have to do a mission because it's their religion.
That's what I'm saying. It's not if you go to Brigham
Young.
But
At Brigham Young, I believe you sign it's like a code of honor or something, which basically means no drinking, no hanky panky.
Oh yeah, because remember a couple of basketball players got booted.
Even a name sounds weird.
Brigham Young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring them young. Bring them young.
Stop.
Dun, 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 bring them young.
And then their rival. And then what's the nickname of their rivals?
The Utes. Oh my goodness.
Utah Utes.
I don't know what is their nickname. Brigham Young.
Cougars.
Cougars. That's
I
good.
call it
That's
good.
a-
Brigham Young
yeah,
Cougars.
Brigham Young Cougars.
Isn't that an oxymoron?
Yeah.
Listen, they got some Brigham Young Cougars on us. Real Housewives of
Will
Salt
you
Lake.
stop with that?
He loves reality TV.
I really do. Well, I'm on a.
Wait. I walked in the Fonz's room last night.
Yep.
One of his guys, they make music together, do stuff. They've been friends since, high school.
Mhm.
He's on a reality show.
What you
and they're
watching?
watching it. It's
weird.
I'm gonna ask him.
I'm,
But here, caveat.
Hmm?
It was on BET. So
It doesn't matter. I watch some BET shows. They got anything good?
I don't know. I gotta ask him what the
There's
name of the show was. Let me ask
It's a
him.
reality show.
Yeah.
Man, hold on,
It's
there's
like
one right there.
like a dating game where like
Is it like the guy pops the balloon and is like, nah, no.
no, it's like
That was
six
funny.
Six dudes and then
Wait,
one
is
girl
it?
lady. And then,
Yeah.
they all. I know what you're talking about. I know
Oh,
what you're
but
talking
he was
about.
on that one?
Yeah.
It's foul.
Yeah.
That
But
one's crazy.
These
and so
guys
we
say
was just
some-
I was just making fun of all of them because they all, they all trying to dress sharp and one looked like a giant grape. He looked like Luther Vandross. I'm like, he ain't got no chance.
Which Luther? Skinny Luther or KFC Luther?
In between. He wasn't thin, and he wasn't big. He was, but you could tell that he probably should have wore black.
Yeah, when you talk about Luther, you got to ask which Luther.
Yeah.
Skinny Luther or
Yeah.
KFC Luther.
Yeah.
Wallace says Cougars. No wonder Zach Wilson went there. You think Zach Wilson looks at this year and he's like, I still got hope. If I watch what Sam Darnold did.
I think every quarterback who gets in one of those situations. Now there's some quarterbacks, to be fair. There's some quarterbacks that go into the best situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then can't play. Like, I don't know what to make of Trey Lance.
Oh, I can. He stinks.
Yeah, I think he stinks.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Wasn't Trey Lance like Anthony Richardson? Like he didn't play much football.
Exactly.
And he played at North Dakota State.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna be good.
Everybody got duped that COVID year, bro.
Take Zach Wilson as the Dolphins backup next year?
No.
Why not?
You don't want no Jets thing.
Here's what you have to do. And this is part of the reason why they kept Skylar Thompson. Because to bring in a new guy and assume he can do that time, quick release kind of stuff, when you kind of saw Skylar do it, it is a crapshoot.
Mm-hmm.
So when he says, yeah, we had a lot of the top, well, it's no guarantee that they've ever been the type of quarterback that, made quick reads and threw it with accuracy. So I was kind of okay with them keeping Skylar because at least they knew or had an idea what, by coaching him up and whatever, they had an idea that he could do some of those things. Now he couldn't because when he played on the big club instead of fourth quarter in preseason against real pros, it didn't work out. But I understand the concept behind it. You can't just bring anybody in. So we all see a name like, oh, why don't you just bring Ryan Tannehill back? His problem was he held on to the ball. You don't want that.
Mm-mm.
So, there's a lot that goes into just, especially with what your system is.
You got to think Zach Wilson's used to get rid of the ball because he had that Jets offensive line.
Yeah, but was he accurate?
Let's not talk about offensive lines here.
What?
No. Yeah, we can't. We are in.
We're gonna get a couple guards. We're gonna be good, baby.
Oh yeah,
A couple guards.
yeah,
That's
we're
all.
gonna. Yeah, it's that
Here.
time.
Couple
Here.
beef.
Let me
Let's
say
it's
this.
that time to invest now. It's
When
that
you
time to
when you
invest.
That was a
when you
ridiculous
change
statement from
when you
him.
change 2 or 3 offensive linemen,
Yeah.
it's almost like trading in the NBA, right? When you have a game, or a time period to where they all have to get used to working together.
Dude. Well, they're not gonna. First of all, they're not gonna get rid of everybody. They really just need 2 new guys. I mean,
Okay, it's still well, you're assuming that young fella's ready to take over for Teron Armstead.
He better be ready to take over for
But
Teron
that-
Armstead.
that's-
He better be.
Whether he better or
He
not,
better be ready.
you're assuming
No,
that he will
better
be.
be ready.
And
to
wait,
take-
what if he's not as good as Teron Armstead?
he's probably not going to be as good as Teron Armstead.
Okay,
but
so-
you can't go. But dude, you can't go through another season Teron Armstead. You can't.
No, you can't. I'm not saying you. I'm saying I'm treating it as if though you're gonna have a new left tackle. So now there's 3 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it might take a little bit. Now, want to know what this sounds bad. What I'm about to say sounds terrible,
Say it.
right? If Brian Callahan can get fired, we can go spend a boatload of money for Bill Callahan, who's the best.
Oh, you want his dad?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because his dad left Cleveland, and now they can't run the ball for social distancing.
I can't get Scarletti from New England.
And why?
I mean, he
I
was
don't
one of
Bill
the best-
Callahan is the best.
I mean, if you can't get Callahan, you can get.
You're not gonna get Cat.
Yeah, but they all-
Bill Callahan left only to coach with his son.
Yeah, but they all.
It had nothing to do with money. It had nothing to do with. He only left because he wanted to coach with his son.
I don't think I don't have a problem with Butch Berry. I mean, Butch Berry did a good job a couple of years ago. He was just he's like I can't fault a coach who's forced to play Liam Eichenberg. I can't. I can't. Trust me. It's I am guaranteeing that once Liam Eichenberg is off this line, things will be looking up.
I hate to say this, but we've been complaining about the offensive line for like 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and 2 years ago was the best version of this offensive line, right? And all those guys, a lot of those guys are gone, even with them moving guys around.
Williams is gone. Hunt is in Carolina now.
Right. Good luck with that.
What do you mean? He was recruiting Cheetah.
Really?
He was. By the way, speaking of Cheetah, some new evidence has come out of his quitting. We'll get to that coming up next.
Oh. come back and apologize and say it was the heat of the moment. I was upset at how the season went, my output, whatever. Everybody, that would have been forgiven. Here's the problem. How do you go back into the locker room after you refuse to go out and play? Forget the ownership, the coaches, the fans. How do you go back in that locker room after refusing to play? And so he kind of backed himself into a corner with that because he could go back in that locker room and they still say, no, we don't want that. So I don't know how you mend that fence.
Well, this was fascinating because this started to go viral yesterday, which was in the middle of the game. It was in the third quarter. Jaylen Waddle basically turned around because he's on the field with River Craycraft and Malik Washington.
Who they like?
Who, Malik Washington?
Malik, yeah, he stepped up towards the end of the year. Now he's a tic-tac, but that's okay.
But Waddle's like looking around and he looks back and you can hear this is you could hear him after the broadcaster just basically say, Cheetah, are you done? This was,
and he has his fourth of the day right here.
I mean, the Curb Your Enthusiasm music that just hits like right after that. If you want to just put the Dolphins in just their
Curb episode,
they're like Cheetah done. Yup, dun dun dun.
Now, at that moment, and so we're playing the result here. But I'm gonna say at that moment, nobody knows why. So no, you don't know why. You don't get into details at that moment. He just said, hey, are you done?
It's that stadium, man.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm more than sure.
Well, he knows now, though.
Well, he knows now.
I'm sure he knows.
But
now.
I'm more than sure at the moment he didn't know why. He just that's why he said you're done. So, like, look, it's an unfortunate thing. His actions backed him into this corner, not his words. I've been around sports long enough. People say some stupid stuff.
I genuinely don't care about the press conference. I really
don't. That's what I'm
care
saying.
About the press conference.
But again,
I really don't. I don't. If you wanted to like say like how much weight would I put on that, the fact that he is, I mean, the fact. I guess the one thing I would say to that though is if he had been that frustrated where he did take himself out, I understand that he didn't want to speak to the media, but it also is not like this is an emotional thing that he hasn't been frustrated for hours, because if that's in the middle of the third quarter, you have a lot of time where this has been boiling.
Yeah.
But my bigger issue is you stop playing the game. Why?
Right.
Like, come on,
that's
man.
That's it. And here's, I can only speak from my own experiences. No matter how mad and pissed off I've been at a coach or even another player, I played with guys I did not like. When you say you're a competitor, that means any opportunity you get, you go out there and compete. And that is like, the two don't match, right? The two don't match. If you say I'm a competitor, I'm fighting till the doors fall off of this thing, and then you say I'm out, those two don't match. Which one are you? Are you the one that if it gets tough and you're struggling, that you're not going to keep fighting, right? Because, it comes a point in the game and we hear like Tyler Hero could go 0 for 10 from 3 and then make 2 threes in the fourth quarter that seal the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what fighting through adversity is.
Sure.
That's what never quitting and being competitive is, right? So who's to say Cheetah couldn't make a difference?
Absolutely.
Who couldn't make a play at the end of the game? You can't, there is no other word other than he quit.
He quit, and he also had a bad season as far as the drops. He had, he had the Houston game where him and Tua just could not get on the same page. Seemed like he was running the wrong route all the time. He had the ball ripped out of his hands for an interception at the end of a game. You know, and sorry, like you went from the number one player in the NFL, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that he's washed, but man, I mean that was a cliff fall season.
You have look, you have bad years, right? Every year isn't Mike Evans. There's only one other guy who had that year, and that's Jerry Rice. 2 people. So if you play in that sport, you understand that. So you have to just kind of fight through it. Somebody asked me, how would I handle the Tyreek situation? It depends on who it is. So say,
well, in this case, it would be Randy Moss or Chris Carter.
Here's the deal: is that's a different position, and that's why I say my relationship, even though I was cool with him, it might not be cool like that. Say if it was Robert, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I would say, look, you're my boy, but you can't do this. You can't. Right? And we have enough of a relationship that if I were to do it, he would say the same thing to me. I can't, like, you can't just do that to anybody because you don't have that relationship to where you can just check them. Like, you know, you have boys, right? You have friends, but you can't, all of your boys you can't put in check. Some of them you can because y'all a little bit closer. But there's somebody who could. Now, is he going to listen? That's a whole nother conversation.
Well, I mean, that's the thing too, is like when we learn, you know, in the day after, all the players are complaining or venting letting it know that everybody is being late all the time. And then the coach is saying, well, I've been finding guys left and right. And they don't say that it's Tyreek Hill, but I think we all are pretty
we kind of making that assumption.
We are.
Right?
Is it a fair assumption?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a jerk, and then but I'm saying when you have, this is the question with Mike, right? Like, you know, beautiful little weirdo that he is. Do guys walk all over him? Like, is he running too much of player friendly plays where in hard times will people rally around this coach?
It's easy.
Here's what I would say. Don't take what you hear and see as what they hear and see. Okay? I know a lot of coaches who were friendly players, coaches, and were mean as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not just gonna make that assumption. But I'm also gonna say this.
He's not mean though, dude.
You don't know that.
No, it's a question you need to
He's
have
not
to ask.
But
can he lead men? That's the question you need.
Right.
Leroy, let me ask you. Do you think Mike McDaniel can lead men?
Yes.
You think so?
I do.
Because when you're hearing these reports, doesn't look like he's leading men.
But here's what you have to do, and here's what Mike is learning. Right? That there's a bigger picture than one or two players. And sometimes you need to make the point. And a lot of times these guys come into situations and they feel that our relationship is such that he would not do something like this. And when it happens, now you got to figure out a way to handle it. And it's just kind of how it works. Like I tell you who everybody loves, Man Campbell. Now he's tough as nails.
Yeah.
But that so you can be,
you know why though, dude? Come on.
You can be both.
But he's also emotional. Like you can be both. You could be
right.
a hard ass.
Right.
But guess what?
Man Campbell.
But you don't know how he's like the conversations that we have with Dan Campbell aren't the same as the conversations the team is having.
I definitely think that if Tyreek Hill was late 4 or 5 times a season and he fined him, Man Campbell's dropping the gloves.
Here's the other thing. No, here's the other thing you have to realize.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have any of those guys. Everybody's young. Everybody, no, who?
Got Calais.
No, I'm talking about
Detroit.
On Detroit's team.
Jameson Williams. He's gambling. He gets suspended. Yeah. Okay. And
But that's no. But doing that ain't got nothing to do. I'm talking about around the building. Like, let me tell you something.
if you can't play
I
the building,
had
it's bad.
4 or 5 conversations with Denny Green. I'm talking about serious conversations, about football or whatever, since the whole time I was there. You know what the first thing I learned about Denny Green? Don't be late.
Understood.
That didn't come from him. That came from Chris Carter. That came from Robert Smith. Don't be late.
But the thing that I think is tough for Mike is, like, if Cheetah's acting this way around you, and like Mike McDaniel, like, basically leaned into Cheetah for 2 years and was like, "You're my guy. You're my captain. You're going to be the face of my team."
Sometimes coaches do that
As a reverse
and
psychology, probably.
empower players so that they become an example. And it didn't work
This year when it got tough.
Well,
That's the thing.
You don't hear again. You don't know if it worked back then,
Fair.
right? Because what a coach deems a leader and the players deem a leader are 2 different things. You see what I mean? Like, okay, they call Jimmy a leader. Bam's the captain.
Yeah.
There's a difference. And so I would say that, and I'm gonna, because Mike has never had to deal with this. Like, we all seem to think that right away a man can go in there in front of a whole bunch of other men, and sometimes some guys have to figure it out.
I think Mike has good qualities because, listen, he did a great job refurbishing where Tua was in his career. So I think on an individual basis, I think that,
but don't know as a group.
I'm just talking about when you have a problem now, because there are different, you're right. Like, there are different things as a head coach. He started off with 2, pretty gravy years because it's all good when you're winning and you're putting up monster points. But I think you got to know is, like, all right, how are things going to do when they're tough? Like, how can you get out of the hole? And it just feels like right now he's searching for it. Because he was even like answered, like, well, what do you do? Somebody asked him, I think it was Perk, was like, well, what do you do if the fines aren't working? And he's like, I guess the ultimate ultimatum, which is like, so you cut them? Like, I don't,
right,
like,
but
is that where it goes?
That was an announcement in camp one year. Then he said, I don't fine people, I cut them. So, like, yeah, but here's what I would say. Who's a better leader of men? Mike McDaniel or the last coach?
Flo?
Flo.
Why? Based on what?
Respect.
Respect?
I don't know.
You see, but here's the problem. He almost ruined a career.
Just casualties.
Yeah,
no, not at quarterback,
but
though.
But also the word was on Flo. Like, Fitzpatrick just did an interview about this, or a podcast about this, talking about when things got tough for Flo, he basically iced everybody out, even the coaching staff.
Right. Like, see, you have this preconceived notion about what you see.
I mean, Flo whoop your ass.
But
that's respect. Like, you gotta.
No, that's not. Just because you can win a fight, just because you look tough, doesn't mean you have the respect of the men in the locker room.
It'd be great if, like, Mike McDaniel.
It doesn't mean that, Vlad.
Imagine if, like, Mike McDaniel was like a black belt at judo.
Let me ask you something. let me ask you something. Who do you think would garner more respect? Bill Belichick or Flo?
Belichick.
Why?
Because he has established winning.
But again,
but here's the thing. What you're saying is good. You know what? No. Let me finish this. You know how Denny Green set the tone? I don't find players. I cut their asses. So that's out the gate. Everybody knows he's not playing around. He's the head in charge. If you mess up, he'll cut your ass.
Yeah,
that ain't happening with Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, but
so that's what I'm saying.
But
respect.
here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. He wasn't gonna never cut Chris Carter, Randy Moss, or Robert Smith. We knew that, but they were on board, right? They passed me. So when you say, yeah, did the coach have respect?
I think
Denny Green had respect because of the guys around him.
Well, I think another problem that they have right now, honestly, because I think another arm for him is that his quarterback was hurt, and I think
Right.
by everybody's account, Tua runs that locker room. Tua is the
Right.
guy, and if Tua can't play and he's sitting there in a Belichick hoodie and a Snuggie,
Right.
you know, what can he do on the sidelines when he's not playing?
You hated his fit.
I
On Sunday.
hated that fit, dude. No, it's such a bad look.
But
Like, you
but
gotta-
I'm telling you, like, you know, like I don't know how else to put it. To say a captain is not always the leader, and how coaches are in a press conference is not one of the things where, think about this. The only thing we remember about Denny Green is his outburst. He wasn't like that.
doesn't matter. It's still good.
Right? I heard Denny raise his voice twice. And all the times I was at Minnesota, and everybody around the thing was like, uh-oh, it's coming. Y'all better get right.
Could you imagine, like, even if you saw Mike McDaniel really lose it, like, I'd almost want to give him a snack to calm down.
No.
Like a
But again, you're making
Ritalin.
you're taking and making being stern and being that guy
And being a good coach. I
as
understand.
garnering respect.
But this has kind of been my thing of him, and we gotta take a break. But this has kind of been my thing with him, the call and plays. Like, I feel like this guy seems like an innovative guy, but it just feels like to me, watching him, this even comes down with the challenges thing about why he stinks. Like, he just seems like it's just too much on his plate, and I
Right.
just think that he's got to lean into to something here.
Here's
And
what this team needs. This team needs more Bam Adebayos.
I don't know if you want.
No,
Bam
let
now.
me explain to you why. Okay, he has it in Tua.
Mhm.
He needs more guys like that have been with him for a couple of years to kind of carry that banner into the locker room.
Yeah.
Like all
Well,
the
see-
guys that I told you were with Denny from the get-go.
There was an interesting comment Steeler made about this the other day. We'll play that for you on the other side. Hour 2 coming up. Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAL. Let's get the headlines. Brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose one with 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory like Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are Doral Hyundai. What's wrong?
Like, oh my God, Leroy's camera. Everybody jumps out. I got the little controller right here.
I mean, sometimes you don't notice. I was trying to help
Just making
you.
sure, baby. Like,
I appreciate
no problems.
All right.
Panthers win last night 4-1. Sam Reinhart with a goal for the Cats. Jesper Boqvist with a pair of goals. Etu Lurserinen with a empty netter. Bob, 26 saves. Cats back in action Saturday afternoon against the Bruins at 1 o'clock. That's a national TV game. Tonight's the Orange Bowl. One half of the college football playoff semifinal. Notre Dame takes on Penn State. The Fighting Irish are 1.5 favorites. 7:30 is your kick from Hard Rock Stadium. Miami Hurricanes, they continue to lose at basketball a lot. Lost to FSU.
Oh my goodness.
4-11 this season. Oof.
Who's the coach?
Bill Courtney.
Yeah. Blarnegg is like, that's up a ship.
I mean, I feel bad for him.
I do too.
Because he was a beacon of energy. We talked about more Canes basketball than we would ever have. We lost two coaches down there.
Yep.
Katie
Meyer,
and him. So
NIL.
well,
changing of the guard.
and let me tell you right now, this ain't a basketball school. So that NIL, aren't the Twins back?
Yes.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about them.
Sorry, man.
I know.
The Cavaliers, they beat the Thunder last night, 129-122. That snapped OKC's 15-game win streak. Makes the Cavaliers win streak 11. Bucks beat the Spurs 121-105. Giannis, he gave the business to Wemby yesterday. Poor Wemby.
But that's Giannis, man. Like, he can basically do whatever he wants to on a basketball court.
And then, yeah, still looking at our wounds from and the Heat are back in action tonight, of course. They take on the Utah Jazz. Coverage begins at 7:45. It's a 9 o'clock tip from Salt Lake City. But getting back into the Dolphins here. So Mike McDaniel, if you guys missed it, this was him talking about the punishments he's got to do or give out if fines aren't enough were tardiness. This was at his end of season press conference. You got that, Vlad? Here was Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, I mean, there's the ultimate ultimatum, which is it's pretty simple. I think it's important that you let guys know that we're at the point in our team where guys are firmly aware of the expectations, and if your actions continually lead to finable offenses, that you're telling me without words that you don't want to be here. So it's I think it's very clear. I think it's not an indictment necessarily of all, but we are subject to everyone's actions as a football team. So we'll address those as such.
All right. So
Yeah, his ass is on the foreman, bro. Because now, if you got an extension, right, and then you come out, you have an 8-9 season, a season that you didn't live up to expectations, and then now you're coming to find out, yeah, people at the players, they're coming in at any time that they want to. I've given them fines, but it seems not to work. That's not a good. If you're a Stephen Ross and you're hearing this, how you feel?
But when you say it's here, let's be clear. It can only be one or two guys. When you say people, stop making it sound like it's the whole damn team, right? Right, but no, people. No, I promise you, dude.
no one's gonna.
They ain't gonna go out there and play on the field the way they've been playing and everybody be late and willy nilly with that. Especially on that offense, there's a whole lot of stuff that has to be pinpoint accurate.
Yeah, like how many people have the cachet to just say bleep it? I'll give you fine money. I mean, it's like him. Can't imagine Teron Armstead's doing that.
What about Waddle?
Maybe Waddle do that and sit there and say, "Cheetah, you in."
What about Odell when he was here?
You never know with Odell Beckham. I mean, that's possible.
What about Jaylen?
It ain't Jaylen.
I don't know.
Jalen's too young.
Ramsey.
Maybe.
I'm just giving you 4 players, and these are your best players. If your best players are coming in late
Correct.
and everything like that, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So then, if you're Boss Ross, you got to look at that and be like, there's fine. Everybody's back for 25, but you got to admit, everybody's on the Foreman grill.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would have thought, I was kind of surprised almost, Vlad, that he put the statement out so quickly after the game, because if I was Stephen Ross, and the thing that I found interesting about the presser this week was that like those guys sounded like they were almost defending their jobs with their jobs being safe. And I would have thought if I was Stephen Ross and I would have heard that press conference over the last 48 hours and I would have learned about the stuff, I assume that he knows anyway, but just hearing your players talk about it, I would have wondered if that would have given Stephen Ross any more pause on the decision.
That's a good point. Like you gave the guy the vote of confidence that they're both
right after
back.
the game.
And then right after the game, and then the next day during the the exit meetings and everything, they're spilling the beans on what happened during the year.
Which is stuff that, to be fair, remember there was Deshaun Elliott this year, the safety for Pittsburgh,
we ripped him.
And he said the culture down here is rotten. He said it was rotten.
And
he said that this team was soft. He said that they're never going to win down there. He pointed all this out, and he was the leading tackler last year, the second leading tackler last year.
But sometimes, like, it's hard to take that from somebody who just got booted.
But that's why everybody was saying he was saying that
Got booted for worse players, though.
Right. People were ripping him because they were like, "Oh, he got cut by the Dolphins," but no, maybe he was peeling the curtains back and giving you a look about like this is the culture that's with the Dolphins right now.
Right.
Here was Zach Sealer, who says now that he's got that NFL street cred to be more of a locker room vocal presence next year.
Speaking up has been one of the things I've been working on my entire career. Me and Christian talked a lot about that early on. Obviously, me coming from the waivers and kind of not doing much in the NFL early on. Like I told Barry, it took me 10 years to get, or 5 years to get 10 sacks and 2 to get 20. So it's just one of those things where it's just like I'm a leader on this team. I'm a veteran. I have my name now. And to speak up with guys like Chubb and Calais, Agba, Ramsey, all these guys on defense, we need to make sure that we're holding everyone to a standard. To be here from day one, to work as a unit and stay on top of things early on so that we're not trying to play catch up and we're starting the season fast and we're not playing from behind the 8 ball.
Do you feel like a guy like that can be one of a Mike McDaniel guy?
Yeah. Like that's kind of, what you want to hear, and so, but it needs to be with somebody who's going to be around long enough that can pass that on. Calais Campbell's a tremendous leader.
Yeah, he's not going to. He's
right.
He's
you see what I'm saying?
He's going to take it.
And so that's why when people say Tua stepped up, it's really important because Tua could go have that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens is if that conversation doesn't go well, then those leaders go to the coach and say, "Can't do it."
Mm-hmm.
That just happened.
I feel like Mostert was one of those guys this year, and he kind of got iced out by the end of the year, between injuries and
and also fumbles.
And, well, yeah, he did fumble. That's fair. But he also was if anybody represented Mike McDaniel and who was kind of like, hey, that's my guy. And you're leading the league. And if you're leading the team in touchdowns and then you're, getting no carries at the end.
See, here's what I tried to do when I was a captain. And they go, "Oh, the teammate." I said, "I don't really like it." I said, because just because you're one of the best players doesn't mean you're a leader. And I said, so I'll try to do it, but that doesn't you know what I mean? And so I always felt.
Did you ever call a meeting?
No, I would just go talk to the guy. Like you know who's the problem?
I ran a meeting one time. Fraternity president. Had a gavel.
With a keg over your head?
Wait, you had a did you have the wig? Did you have the blonde wig?
No, I didn't have a blonde wig.
And how many of you were drinking during said meeting?
A lot.
We never drank in the meetings. We didn't drink in the meetings. Professional.
The one moment in your life you've been serious?
You had some decorum. Okay.
They also got kicked off campus. So
what
kind of leader were you?
Have decorum.
caught drinking in the dorms.
By the way, what's up with you? You want everybody to take a nap? Is that because they're old?
The old need to take naps.
Yeah, yesterday you told Tehran, leave Tehran alone. Let him
I'm
go
not
take
saying
a
that
nap.
as an insult. I want them to leave him alone and let him go take a nap.
And then now you just said leave Calais alone, let him take a nap.
Let him go take a nap, dude. Like, leave him alone. Like, these guys are tired. They're giants.
What do you feel like? They're like bears? They need to go hibernate?
Leave them alone. Like, if I was Calais Campbell in Toronto, I would say right now, I would be on a boat in the middle of the ocean somewhere napping. Just thinking, like, I'm so tired of moving 300 pounders.
I feel bad for Calais, man. Because Calais could have left, man.
He could have
left. He could have been involved.
He could have made a stink.
Yeah, he could have left.
But see, when you're a competitor
Mhm.
and you're losing, you want to be the reason why it turns around.
I know.
I promise you.
So when you say something like that, how is he supposed to look at that the guy wearing number 10?
But that Vlad, I've been saying this the whole time. You can backtrack on words. You can't backtrack on actions.
Yeah.
So how does Tyreek fix that with? I don't care if he fixes it with Mike McDaniel. I don't care if he fixes it with the Dolphins.
It just feels.
How does he fix it with the other guys in that locker room, including Waddle?
But that's the thing that's irritating about it, right? Like, it's because, yeah, it was a tough year for Cheetah, whatever. But I know that they say it's emotional, but it almost feels calculated because it feels like, oh, with the trolling, with the post in the Chargers, with the walking out, and then saying, you know, I got to do what's best for him. Like, it does kind of feel like he's been thinking about leaving, and maybe that is for the best. I'm not saying that. You know what? Maybe the Dolphins. It was an amazing, supersonic 3-year run, 2 record-breaking years. But maybe it is time to move on.
I think part of you know the bigger issue is that what bothers me about this whole thing. I can understand if fans look at Tyreek and say, "Oh, your numbers are down, you're falling off," right? It's not. I don't think it's true, but I can understand when fans they just look at numbers or whatever. He's in that locker room. He knows why things are the way they are. For him to act like a fan and to say, I ain't get my numbers, I got to get out of here, or something along those lines, which is how this is all looking, that he didn't get his numbers without fully understanding the situation that they went through this year. That's another thing that, hey, man, you were here. You know what's going on here. You know Tua missed some time. You know the offensive line required that we get rid of the ball quicker, right? You know you dropped some balls.
You know Eichenberg punched Zach Sealer right in the face or poked his eye out.
So when
you know that happened.
When you are closer to anybody, to the reasons why things happen, and you ignore them because of whatever reason, like that's the part that, like, yeah, man, like I just think that he I would say be more aware, but
it's Cheetah.
Right. Exactly. But I would also say this. All of his same antics were cute and funny when they were winning and he was running. So I am
it's
trying
kind of the heat with Jimmy Butler too, right?
I am trying to separate the two. Everything was great till the one time he wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can't say playoff Jimmy.
Yeah,
we can't say January. I said that.
I know somebody who was saying that.
Tobin.
2024. No, that this was going to happen. This guy. I told you guys that both Tyreek and Jimmy were the same player. They both wanted their money. The only difference,
but he got his money. Tyreek got his money.
This is why you look at the difference. And this, no, you know what? This is a great example of this of South Florida sports and the difference between organizations. Riles has been through this so many times. You know his MO. He's not going to give it to you unless you show that you really earned it.
Right. Especially at 35. Like, guess what? If he would have balled out, the contract ain't next year. It's for 2 years. So who's to say he wouldn't give it to him if he balled out this year?
Well, that was his point.
But that's what Jimmy said he was going to do.
I know, and I think that Jimmy. I have wonderings if Jimmy Butler is worried about his health, and I think that there was a point this year where he's had a couple of nasty ankle injuries, particularly this last one.
Which one? The last one I gave him the boo boo.
Yeah, because that's my point though. Like,
Hold on.
What?
What I've been telling you the whole time
about
paying 35-year-old Jimmy.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand.
Okay.
But like you think people always wonder like what changed, right? Because like he comes into
Father time.
I understand. I'm not talking about his performance though. Like his last game that he actually tried, he was excellent. I'm asking for
it's
him.
about the ability to do that over
I
and over
understand,
again. At
but
35.
I'm saying
Right.
what for him changed, and I'm saying like, hey, that first injury happens, and he goes, uh-oh, and then he's hearing that Phoenix will pay him. All of a sudden now we're making a stink.
So you trying to say Jimmy's trying to fleece somebody for $60 million because he's banged up and doesn't think that if he doesn't get the contract now, he'll be able to get a big contract like that again.
Fleece is a strong word, but I think that I think if he knows,
how is he gonna put it? If wait, let me tell you what he made me think. This is what Tobin's saying. I better do whatever I can to get this money here because I ain't gonna get it nowhere else.
Is that fleecing?
Yeah.
Especially
when you tried to hope. First of all, nobody holds Pat Riley hostage.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna dig his horns in, and that's it. So the fact that you even thought you could pressure Pat Riley into paying you $60 million 2 years from now.
Take a break. We'll get to more. There's some interesting Jimmy details from the. We'll get to that.
Silly human.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. What's wrong?
I just learned something. I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
Why? She said, who is this?
She's never seen Pulp Fiction, and she's never seen Kill Bill.
Whoa. No. I've seen Kill Bill.
You
I've
said-
just never seen.
You've never seen Pulp Fiction?
You've never seen Pulp Fiction?
No, I've.
Oh, this was the bit back in the Hockman show. She saw a lot.
Exactly,
There's a
yeah.
lot of great movies she's never seen.
Oh,
It's always been on my list, but
that is
never the right time for me to
There's.
watch it.
It's like
it's
if you
perfect for
took 3 movies and jammed them into one movie, that's what Pulp Fiction was.
Yeah, it was good.
It's actually a movie. It would actually, you would like
It
definitely.
will still
like
hold up. It will still hold up.
She would
I
definitely
think
like it.
it's the fact that it's such a popular movie. I don't like.
You would like Uma
You
Thurman's
would
character.
definitely like it. You
Yeah.
definitely would like it.
I just don't like watching.
Watch it before the Heat game
so
tonight.
many things
Look at that. Look at. Oh my God. Look at the fires.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy right now, man. Los Angeles is going through a really, really tough time right now with these fires. It's crazy. It looks like the apocalypse out there.
I pray for
My
everybody.
thing is that all of my friends out west always talk about the hurricanes. I said, but y'all have fires and earthquakes, and you get no warning.
Well, there was a news that broke earlier today saying that there was a bunch of wind and the fire. So like it's basically
It's
a
blowing-
hurricane
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
they've had.
a fire all at the same
Yeah, they had
time.
hurricane winds over the last couple of days.
So it's
That's
blowing
crazy.
fire
So it's
everywhere.
just blowing fire everywhere. You know, thoughts and prayers to everybody out
Yeah,
there.
man.
Yeah,
That
sure.
right there is
Len just texts me and he goes, "Stop by when you get a chance." And I just hit him back with a fired question mark.
no.
Uh,
I think they do me first.
Nah,
You do too
no
much
way.
stuff.
No
Brother,
way.
the brother gets hand first.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you.
Well,
The-
no, you'll be here one time and be like, "Where's Tobin?"
No.
Tell him.
I mean, I've never. No.
a lot of bubbles. See, this is taking a while to respond. Maybe.
No.
No.
Could be it.
There's no because even when Eric left, he wasn't fired.
Yeah,
he
but
just
he just left.
Right.
He pulled a Tyreek.
Yeah.
It's like deuces.
Deuces.
All right, we'll go ahead and take a break. We'll get our clock right, and then I'll go see if I'm fired or not, and then we'll mix it on up. Coming up next. program. Leroy, can we get a weather update from the Demesman and
Sure
Dover
can.
Law Firm? YourAccentAttorneys.com. Free consultation 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE.
Tell you what. It's a bit chilly. We call this boots and butts weather. All the ladies wearing them boots with the fur with the tights on.
The whole club's looking at her.
Yep.
What?
We got not a cloud in the sky. It is a little breezy, so I'd say it's probably around 10 to 15 miles an hour. Winds out of the north. And it was in the 40s this morning. And it's probably going to be chilly again tomorrow morning. But right now, I'd say it's 60, 65. Did it get up to 65?
How's he doing, Vlad? How's he doing?
This guy. It's supposed to get to 70 today, Leroy. So right now it is 62 degrees in Miami.
Ooh. That's pretty spot on.
Yeah,
What?
pretty much.
Leroy
62.
just taught me that it's cold in Vegas right
But it
now.
feels like it's 59 though.
Hey, so like we're going to the fight, right? And Tob goes, we go to eat at our spot. Got to go eat at the spot. We go eat. He goes, hey, you going to go golfing? Because usually I have some friends there. I go golfing on Saturday morning. I'm like, no. He goes, why? Like, it's freezing this time of year.
I'm very
not cold, freezing and windy.
I'm very unaware of weather other
And
places.
so he pulls up a thing. It's like right now it's 49 degrees. And then he says, ooh, 31.
It's got a low
Yeah.
of 31 next Monday. I was like,
Yeah.
There's also plenty of like weather storms.
What are the-
happening
what are
in
the-
Tennessee?
What?
Yeah, I think
Tennessee gets cold. I know that.
Tennessee gets cold, but this ain't out west in the desert.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Huh.
Like, yeah, no, I live there. I live
there's
there,
a lot of storms by Colorado.
but that's way south.
Well, speaking of cold, let's get to the mixed bag here, which we're getting a winter classic. Bill Zito yesterday on the TNT broadcast asked about this, and he says it's a tip of the cap to the Cats Nation, the Cats fans.
It's truly an honor, and it's an honor that the fans earned, that they've now supported our franchise and Tampa as well, right? So that as hockey grows in our area and the fans keep coming out and keep showing how much they love the sport, the kids' hockey's growing. The local TV package goes from the Keys all the way up past Palm Beach. It's just like it's exploding in South Florida, and it's honestly, it's really fun. It's fun to be a part of.
I really want to go.
I'm more than sure we'll be able to go. Well, here.
What?
Never mind.
I
don't
really
even
want to go.
You want to go, put your name on the list, and you know who you got to talk to.
No, I'm gonna I'll credential or something like that. I'll get in. I'm going.
Like every time I want to think about going somewhere that our station plays a role in, I think about it and I say, never mind, it ain't worth the damn headache.
We're gonna go. We're going to see the Cats outside.
Cats outside.
Cats outside. We call it stray cats because we're outside. I'll take my -1. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Vlad. Give it to him. Give it to him.
Come on, man.
-1. No. You get too froggy, dude.
-1
Froggy at all today.
Because he misses
Not
Frankie.
here.
for sass.
He just hits me yesterday. He's just like, "Oh yeah, I'm not in." I was like, "Oh, were you gonna tell? Were
No, he doesn't even
you
call.
gonna surprise us all with Vlad?"
Wait, no,
Vlad,
no.
this is he don't. You have to understand. He don't even say he's not in. He says Vlad Day.
Wait. No, you got to get it. No, it's even better. I get the text. Hey, man, these are the days that I need you to fill in for me. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, yeah, I got the 21st. I'm like, all right, cool. As long as you don't put me around my birthday, cool. Then I look on top. I was like, wait a minute, the 9th. The 9th is tomorrow.
Oh my!
The 9th is tomorrow. I'm like, I'm doing a game time. I was like, all right, man, go ahead, man. Then I got an appointment. I was like, all right, man, whatever. If you have to do something for the tadpole, Vladpole will be there for you. That's
Oh,
it.
man. Well, we're happy to have you, buddy. All right. So no, I'm excited about that. I'm glad Bill Zito, he's right. And shout out to the Cats, the Violas. They got a hell of a thing going right now, man.
Oh yeah, hottest ticket in town.
No, listen, All-Star game.
Yep.
2 Stanley Cups
Mm-hmm.
and a Winter Classic. You can't say that the Panthers are not showcasing hockey in South Florida.
And I tell you what, that new facility where they revamped War Memorial.
Oh yeah, we were there.
Oh,
Damn,
nice.
It's
look,
nice.
no disrespect to the Coral Springs Ice Den.
Yeah, it might flood, but that's okay because everything east.
Oh, the War Memorial. Oh, yeah.
It might flood, and it's weird because where it is, you will drive right by it and not realize that that's there. The street that goes.
Oh,
into
Coral
it.
Springs?
No, I'm talking about
the War
Memorial.
Oh yeah.
You'll drive right by it.
Oh yeah.
Without even realizing. But then I always know where it is. It's right next to some oysters.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Delicious.
That was good. All right, we've been following the Jimmy Butler saga, of course.
There's no following.
But the other side of this is Bradley Beal. Poor Bradley Beal. No one, well, very rich Bradley Beal, but no one's thinking about Bradley Beal. And this was an odd take, okay? Because
Who gave the take?
Stephen A. Smith, right?
But can you give a good take? Here's what I hate about what I do. If I have a comment to make about a certain situation or what somebody has done, I don't have to put qualifiers out there saying, I really like the player. I really like the comment. What is going on speaks for itself.
Because he's going to fluff him up before he criticizes him, right?
Right.
He's going to call Bradley Beal a bona fide bucket or something like that.
This is without hearing what we all do that. And I'm thinking you shouldn't have to do that. If you're about to say something about somebody, you should be able to talk about that and not have to say other stuff to fluff it up.
Leroy, we live in a sensitive world.
They're
gonna immediately think it's hate,
because
even though you might have complimented them 1,500 times.
I guess I'm used to it because anytime I say anything negative about the Canes, I'm a hater.
That's right.
There you go.
Right? Even though
you've complimented them.
Although you did foresee the season coming.
He was right.
But I'm just okay, everybody get excited about being 9-0. Hey, dude, when you play with fire, okay, especially in sports, you can't just make a assumption that every time we get in these games, we gonna be victorious.
That Gators game was still great though. Screw the Gators. What a win that was. But anywho, here's Stephen A. Smith who says, Bradley Beal, you got to have some pride. Why would you be somewhere they don't even want you?
I'm a fan of Bradley Beal, the talent. I think the brother's is a sniper. He's a shooter. He can ball. He's far from a scrub. He's an all-star caliber talent. But at some point in time, and I say this respectfully, very respectfully, because, again, I'm fond of him. I say it very respectfully to him and Mark Bartelstein, one of the elite agents in this business spanning 30 years. Wendy's absolutely right. He's been around a very, very long time. And when he's emphatic, you better listen to him because he knows what the hell he's doing and he knows what the hell he's talking about. Here's what we have to ask this question respectfully about Bradley Beal.
Respectfully.
Hey, bro, how do you feel at this stage and point in your career, knowing that your money isn't compromised, about being with a team that doesn't want you to be there? Where's your pride? What you gonna do? You've been with the Washington Wizards. You were going home in the first round. You never got past the second round. You weren't making the playoffs every single year. 2014 and 2015 was good. 2017, you made the playoffs. You missed it in 2016, of course. 2018, you get sent home in the first round. 2020, then you missed the playoffs in 2019 and 2020. 2021, you get to the playoffs again. Again, you go home in the first round. Then you miss the playoffs in 22 and 23. And then last year in 24, again, now you're a Phoenix Sun. You go home in the first round. What's up? When we talk about accomplishments on the NBA level, other than your ability to score, what have you really, really done? You're a big enough talent where you should be sitting back and going like this. These brothers don't want me.
Okay, here's my thing, though. All right, respectfully, Stephen A. Smith, you're the greatest debater there is I've ever been.
Here we go.
Nobody has mastered the hot. Nobody has mastered the hot take.
He sound like Rihanna.
Nobody has mastered the hot take quite like Stephen A. Smith. First take is a bona fide hit maker. I hope you get all the money in the world from Mickey Mouse and the worldwide leader. But let me ask you something, Steven. You have been a man, followed your work, that you've criticized harshly, and I think rightfully so, Ben Simmons, Zion Williamson, James Harden for quitting because guys wouldn't show up for work. What's been different with this Jimmy Butler thing, dude? Because Jimmy Butler dogged it on the court. You bought this BS about usage rate, and you've been in Jimmy's corner this entire time with this thing. And now you have the audacity to embarrass Bradley Beal, who, by the way, is only living up to his contract, which is with a no-trade clause. And what happened when Bradley Beal was asked to go to the bench? Did he bitch? Did he complain? Did he whine? Not publicly. Just went out there and did his job. So why is Bradley Beal being questioned about pride in this situation? Bradley Beal just got traded there a year ago.
I got to tell you, I did not think we were going to go that way with that. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, man.
I'm like, it took me off. It took me off guard there. That
nobody finds that a little fishy though. This guy has sat here.
Here's what I would say though. I would say that we get caught up in and I'll use this now. What you did 2 years ago is not the same as what you can do now. And so we've seen Jimmy have this success. And because we've never seen Bradley Beal have any real success, they approach the situations and comment on the situations differently. You see what I mean? Because he'll come out and say, Jimmy Butler, he's a winner.
Right.
He does. Right. But the actions speak for themselves. And what you are saying, because you are closer to it, you have more of an idea of what's going on and what has happened, is that Stephen A is looking at Jimmy and what he has done in the basketball court before. And he's saying he's a winner. He's not doing that now. Whereas you look at Bradley Beal and like, hey, if you don't want Bradley Beal to do this, then you shouldn't have traded for him with a no-trade clause.
Right.
If you don't want Bradley Beal to do this, what has he done? Has he been a cancer in the locker room? Has he cursed out the organization? So
all he's doing is showing up for work.
Right. And
what pride does he have to show? In fact, isn't that what being a professional is?
Under all circumstances, you go out and play your best. So while I understand why Stephen A, it almost seems like he got friends in the Phoenix Suns organization
or in the Jimmy Butler camp
that's trying to.
Seems like it.
Let's, Stephen A, can we nudge Bradley Beal a little bit?
Seems like it's.
But his criticisms of Bradley Beal and not Jimmy Butler, I'm with you.
Wishy-washy.
What do you mean? Wait. Come on, Nathan.
Here it comes.
Come on,
what
Nathan.
you gotta say?
So wait. Is there any point that has been made to this point that is not accurate about the two players?
Everything. Two things could be right.
No, but I'm saying.
No. Everything's been accurate.
Okay.
Everything's been accurate.
Now,
I think he's looking at this point where Bradley Beal got all the money. Has had all the money.
Yeah.
Now it's about winning.
So did Jimmy.
But
he's not even talking.
Jimmy's complaining about getting paid 2 years from now.
But he
ain't earning the money that he's supposed to be earning right now.
My only issue with what he's saying, Vlad, is why don't you have some pride in not being in a place that doesn't want you? And it's like, well, they wanted me last year. Like, what do you mean? Why is that my problem? So I should go to whatever other organization. I should go back to.
The wording is bad.
I should go to Charlotte because I should go to a losing organization to just dump off my contract because the Suns don't want me? The hell does that make sense?
Unless he's looking at Bradley at not wanting to come to Miami, because we all know Stephen.
No, he wouldn't end up in Miami.
Let me tell you something right now. If the Heat wanted Bradley Beal, this deal would have been done a week ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. If the Miami Heat wanted Bradley Beal, this would be done already.
I just think that's why he's looking at it. He's always looking at he's always looking at the South Beach specter and the
Of
the
course,
glamour.
but-
So that's why he looks at it. So he's looking at it like
You just don't find it odd though, Vlad. One of the things that I've known about Stephen A. Smith's career is nothing drives that guy nuts more than guys not showing up for work.
Right. And
the idea that you're
Right.
you're buying this whole Jimmy Butler's just being misused and now it's a bad look for the
oh
Heat
no, he
organization.
doesn't watch the game because I listen. I saw him describe. Oh yeah, they have him in the corner. It was
Yeah,
the first
it's like-
game that he came back. And
they don't
him
have
in the corner.
Jimmy in the corner.
They don't
He
have
put
Jimmy
himself in the corner,
right?
dude.
So it's that. But I just think he's just looking at it. Yes, he probably has a relationship with Jimmy.
No, it's
You
just
know?
I find it very interesting.
That's fine. And so I can't see, as much as I want to rain on Tobin's parade, I can't, because he makes some valid points. It don't happen often. We probably should mark this tape.
You know they said the clock.
I
is
didn't
right.
even try to fight.
No,
I didn't give no resistance
Leroy. You know
because
they
he's accurate.
you know they say you say Leroy. You know they say the clock is right at least 2 times a day, right?
Yeah.
A broke clock
Broken
is right.
clock.
A broke clock's right.
Am I a
2
broken
times
clock?
Well, it's noon right now.
Take it back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Gets a little cat talk here, brought to us by our friends over at the Panthers. But soon our friends over in that corner over there. Beautiful carbonated energy beverage.
Yep.
Yep.
We should be
We have a wall of Celsius.
We do.
no, it's time to upgrade. I want some cherry cola.
Oh. Let's get to the Cats last night. They win against Utah Hockey Club 4-1. Sam Reinhart put the Cats on the board. Jesper Boqvist with a pair of goals. Put them up 2-0, then 3-1. And Etu Los Serena with an empty netter to cap off the scoring. They'll be back in action on Saturday against the Bruins. The Panthers, once again, against the Utah Hockey Club. Paul Maurice had this beautiful quote about we have to learn how to hate them. We haven't gotten there yet, but we will.
That's a great quote.
It was a great quote. He's the best. I mean, he is so good with the media because he's just sitting here. He's talking the game, and they go to him while he's right there on the bench. It's like, we're going to figure out how to hate him.
Then he smirked. That's my favorite part about it.
And then it's just like, of course, you have AJ Greer punching somebody. He may have a hotter temper than Radko Gudas. I'm just telling you, this AJ Greer has been in more fights than pretty much anybody this season. He's fighting everybody.
The game ended with a fight.
Yep.
So good.
Only the Panthers getting post-game fights.
Yeah.
Right? Or let's not forget the drop puck fight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what? 10 seconds in. Let's get it.
Not even. Who's they got in a fight with? Was it Boston?
Yep.
Yeah.
But as soon as
But you kind of knew that was happening when they put all the
goons in
the first shift. Come on, they never play the first shift.
Fight time. Well, it was not the Panthers' fault. Salty Utah Utes players mad they lost. That's what happens though. The Panthers just agitate, and then you break them. You break them mentally.
It's one person who really.
It's Kachuk. It is Kachuk, but then it's like AJ Greer's in there. He's dusting it up with everybody else. Poor Stenlund. He's like, I thought we were boys, baby. They're like, Nico Mikkel is like,
Wait, who was the one that said, "Tell me you love me"? Tell me you love me.
I don't know who was it.
Oh, hold on, I saved it.
that sounds like some Kachuk
I think
would
it
say.
was.
That sounds like
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was him. I think it was
Was it Greer?
No,
Good Greer, not bad Greer.
1 second. It's
Oh, we have to
loading.
make a distinct. We have to distinguish.
He's in the same place we are
Mhm.
in a tank top.
Yeah, but he's an
the problem
intangible.
Yeah, but he's
with
from
that,
Indianapolis.
Yeah, like Notre Dame
Okay,
people.
but
It's
so-
good weather outside.
Huh?
It's good weather outside.
Yeah, for cold-blooded people.
He's a show pony. He
For
likes to-
birderers.
Look at
Um,
everybody else. They got the sweatsuits on.
oh yeah.
You know who's
sweatshirt.
not happy with this weather right now? Birds.
Oh yeah.
Can I just tell you though,
Or iguanas.
from a football player perspective,
Hmm?
this is even a little bit warmer. If it gets to like 50 degrees and sunny like this, it's great. But what happens is during this time of year, like in November and December, the sun is right over the stadium. So you'll lose like a lot of footballs this time of year. So yeah.
It was Reinhardt.
Huh?
Oh, it was Reinhardt.
Uh.
Listen, he's once again just doing his thing. He's like, they set that play up beautifully though. It was Kachuk to Barkey to Reinhardt, like just pristine movement to get the Cats on the board. But after the game, Paul Maurice, he got the news about the Winter Classic. Here's what Paul had to say about the Panthers, who are going to play next January at Lone Depot Park.
I think that is just awesome. And I'll include Tampa getting a game as well for hockey in Florida. But for us, for our fans, it is an incredibly unique experience. I've been through 2 heritage games up in Canada, but this is going to be outstanding. I like the idea that, so Florida's getting 2 of these games. They are an incredible experience for the players, but also for the fans. Like there's an interaction that happens. These are different. They're not like any other regular season game. It's a lot of fun for the players. It makes the game is really competitive. It's not a no-hitter. They come to play, but all the families are there. It's such a huge crowd. It's a fantastic experience. I'm glad that I feel like these players here in their last few years have kind of earned the right for us to get a game. It's a little bit of a gift back to the fans. because there's two really good Florida hockey teams now, and this is going to be a wonderful experience, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Cool. You're worried about this thing?
Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know if listen, I'm not worried about it. But I know the NHL, the hockey lovers, they're gonna be upset seeing a Winter Classic outside and they see everybody in flip-flops and cargo shorts. They're gonna be upset with that. It's not a look that they want for Winter Classic.
Canada already hates us, dude. Like, what do I do?
Exactly. So think about it.
I'll tell you one thing though, they don't hate us enough not to go to every damn Canadiens game.
No, that's not me.
And every Toronto Maple Leafs game.
I mean, whose fault
Well,
is that?
we call that, the holidays.
Of course.
The holidays come, we playing all the Canadian teams.
Nobody goes to the Senators games.
Yeah, nobody respects the Senators. They're not part of the original six.
Oh man. So that's a great job by the Cats. Heat, they're back on the hardwood tonight against the Utah Jazz at 9:00. Coverage here on 560 WQM, 7:45 with our guys Alejandro Solana and Tommy Tig pre-Heat. I'll be on Heat Weekly this week, by the way.
Oh, nice.
No, stop. He's on Heat Weekly every
My
week.
first time this season.
Leroy.
This year?
Leroy. I know. I'm just being facetious.
Hey,
it's
dude,
only
every time, like I'm on my way back from golf, right? I get done early.
you know there's 4 names you're gonna hear.
And I'm on my way back. We'll be joined next by one Brendan Tobin. I'm like, again?
Yeah.
What?
If it's not Brendan Tobin, it's gonna be our boy Evan Cohen for me in West Palm. Or now in
I
ESPN.
honestly believe that they ain't ready for this smoke.
Who?
For me to be on there.
Mm.
I think, like, I'm
Why? Because you're just gonna rip Spo for not playing Galel well enough?
no. I'm like now's their time though.
I can't wait.
You can't you can't go backwards.
Can't go back.
It's almost like you set these young players back.
Mhm.
Like you throw them a bone, you give them 25 minutes, and they go 13 in a 49-minute game. Come on.
We'll take a break here on the show. When we come back, get into this. There's some interesting details from the Heat's locker room after the Warriors went about the Jimmy Butler situation.
Ooh.
We'll tell you about that coming up next. with you, 560 WQAM.
I love the fact that we watched Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
And everybody said exactly what I told you.
Yeah.
Because I know how these things work.
Mm-hmm.
And they ignored the most important aspect of all the Tyreek Hill stuff.
Right.
Drew?
No. He quit on his team.
Drew Rosenhaus had the audacity. His argument was, well, he showed up for every game. A lot of other guys didn't. It's like, yeah, but he didn't show up for the last one. Like,
right.
Walked out of it. But it's like Rat McAfee's going to do the thing where he's like,
why you call him Rat Mac?
Because this is
Come
what he does. He
Because of Aaron
rhymes.
Rodgers.
He goes,
Oh.
whatever you say, Drew. Punting. Exactly, JFig. Exactly.
Hey,
Wait a minute. Why can't people just be right?
Jennifer, is your stomach grumbling too?
Dude,
Why is
Why do you
we
think
were-
I got
dude,
this cup of coffee?
we were in the
That's
middle.
not helping.
We were in the middle of listening to Rat McAfee during the break with Drew Rosenhaus, and then all of a sudden I just hear,
Wow, Leroy, your stomach was
I
talking.
was like,
That was me within the first hour.
oh, dude, are you okay?
6 p.m.
I was like, is he okay? Are you okay?
That's his stomach yawning. It just
No.
woke up.
I'm gonna have to go get some of these wings downstairs. Next break.
They sell wings.
They still have those wings?
The jerk wings? Oh, they're delicious.
You know who had some good jerk wings?
Who?
King of Diamonds. No, seriously. Like, people think it's funny. Some of the best food is
I
actually
know it.
in
I
adult
know it.
establishments.
And wait, how about this?
Marcus tried
In
to
Palm,
sell
what's
me
the
on
one
this
in Palm
2 weeks
Beach?
ago.
Tootsie's got some good
What's the
wings,
one
too.
in Palm Beach? It's a steakhouse.
Oh. Wait, it's a steakhouse and a strip club?
Yeah,
Crazy Horse?
It's Rachel's.
Oh, Rachel's?
Yeah. I think. Wait. One of our running backs is a manager
At Rachel's?
no, I don't know there. Not
Plato's?
there.
Pluto's?
No,
Oh.
not there, but up in
When you say
Palm
our
Beach,
running backs, what do you mean?
in Minnesota.
Oh.
Mo, he keeps asking me and Harold to come up there.
All right.
I ain't listening.
Well, listen, I like steak.
I ain't chasing a steak all the way up in Palm Beach. I don't care what it come with.
So this was a report from Sam Amick, who is from The Athletic.
Legendary NBA.
Very good
Yeah,
reporter.
yeah, Sam
Very good
Amick.
reporter.
Even
Very-
I heard of him, so
Yeah, very good reporter. And this is why I was singing this through the break, because this was for no reason, but I was just laughing at his description. He's very descriptive of the scene. He says, if pregame tunes outside the visitors' locker room at Chase Center on Tuesday night was any indication, then the Miami Heat's spirit remains intact amid the latest Jimmy Butler drama that has fast become the talk of the NBA. In true Pat Riley form, the yacht rock song, What a Fool Believes by the Doobie Brothers, played loudly on a portable speaker for more than 2 hours before tip-off against the Golden State Warriors. While Riley himself wasn't in town to enjoy the game, it is widely known to love it. It was quite fitting for the man tasked with handling these trade calls. Longtime general manager Andy Ellsberg sauntered ever slowly onto the Heat scene with the walk-up music that was so on message.
somewhere back in the long ago.
What a fool believes.
Hey, so let me ask. I'm gonna ask you this, Tobes,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna ask you this, Vlad, and even Jennifer. If I had to pick Tyreek, if you had to pick between Tyreek and Jimmy, who has a better chance of making up with their team?
Tyreek.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
And no, want me to tell you why Tyreek does?
Sure.
Because they ain't playing football for 6 months.
Yeah.
And Jimmy be lying.
He does lie.
So like
They both
everybody
do.
say when they say, "Oh, that's my role," and you see him shoot a 1'3",
I think,
right? Everybody on that team looking at him like, and then right after Jimmy left, they lost by 40.
Here's the thing with the Jimmy.
Oh yeah,
The thing with Jimmy that I think the reason I say that is I really do think he's going to be left with things that are not really in his control. Because what if Bradley Beal doesn't want to leave? Like if the Heat aren't going to take on Bradley Beal and he doesn't want to go to whatever third team that's going to get dumped off, if he doesn't want to leave, it's not really in his control. What if we get to that point? You know?
and let's keep in mind, Beal is not known for his defensive prowess.
And he's also not known. I mean, like people thought he was
To
going
be
to
healthy.
People also thought that he was going to leave Washington like 9 times, and he never did. Like
That was only you. Okay, that was only you
Yeah, but
because
That's not
because
fair.
you went through I want Bradley Beal stage.
they
Dude,
right.
If we had every guy you wanted.
When Bam wore his jersey after the game, I was like, "Oh man, we're on."
You fall. This is why we have these situations.
I went to a game when I went to a Wizard. There was one game. It was I think Jimmy's first season. Bradley Beal like cooked the Heat, and I was like, "Man, that guy's good." Anyway, after all, only a fool would believe Riley and company would rush into making a rash decision after spending 2 days with the Heat in Northern California for a portion of their most recent road trip. This much was made quite clear: the Heat are not about to make a hurried or bullied in a bad deal. Even with the Heat's desire to make a playoff push, Miami has all sorts of incentive to take its time, even if that means embracing all the uncomfortableness that would come with a Butler return. While trades can always materialize quickly in the association, team sources say Miami is prepared to take its time with the Butler trade to maximize its return. They're not going to get anything.
They ain't gonna get none for him because here's why. And here's when you really need to be aware of your situation. There ain't nobody knocking down the door for Jimmy Butler.
Mm-hmm. Well, one team. That's it.
Well, and I don't know if they are.
That's the other thing.
We making an assumption that Phoenix wants them. Maybe it could be something along the lines of Jimmy sees the cap space, but they haven't really confirmed if KD and Book want him.
There is a
Did we ask them? Nobody. See, we making an assumption.
Ask them though. Like you're not going to ask them. Hey,
You
do
think-
you want Jimmy out? You want Jimmy out for Beal?
Question.
They'll ask
Question.
him.
Question. Let me throw this out there. You think KD and Jimmy gonna get along?
The word
Yeah, why not?
the word is from Kendrick Perkins.
For 2 years, they can get along.
Kendrick Perkins is claiming that his sources are saying that Jimmy Butler already has agreed that he has a $120+ million extension waiting for him in Phoenix, and that what he agrees Kevin Durant will sign one in the summer. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. Now,
And then now,
but you do have Suns.
Can I-
You have,
how about this?
You do have Suns fans because, mind you, the Suns suck. The Suns fans right
would
now.
you be pissed off if he then plays 65, 70 games?
No, but
He won't.
he won't, because here's the thing. He always gonna get
He
banged
can't
up.
hold up. He can't.
And I don't think Phoenix could do it because of that second tier and that all the stuff with
I've
the
said-
money
I've said a lot of things this year
and
about
contract.
Yeah, and I've said a lot of things this year about Jimmy, but I always said firmly this idea that he's going to play 70 games is not going to happen. He didn't do that when he was 29.
But and here's the problem. Here's the problem. Because you played games like that back when you were healthy, now that you're hurt or now that you're older, people don't have no damn patience for that.
Right.
And that's kind of the place where he's backed himself in with the Heat. If he had played 70 games, and then last year, Pat Riley would have no problem giving him an extension. Agreed?
Yeah.
Okay, but since he went 60, and like each time, if he had played 10 more of those games and they had won 4 more games, they'd be a 4 seed instead of a play-in team. Like, how can he not think that doesn't come across Pat Riley? And Pat Riley's like, enough of this.
In wake of Butler's trade request, more from Sam Amick, and the subsequent suspension, team officials told Heat players that the prospect of the 35-year-old 6-time All-Star returning to the court with them after the suspension was most likely the next step. So the players are like, all right, we're waiting for it.
Now you're ruining 2 teams, right? Because this whole situation is ruining Phoenix, where they're already ruined. But you have a lot of young players on this Heat team.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to put Jimmy Butler in the game, knowing what he did the last time, in hopes that he doesn't do it again. Now, if he don't get the trade, you think he going to go out there and ball out?
I don't know.
Let me get. I know. No. And if you want to know, why,
let's just say this.
if
though.
you
When-
want to
when-
know why, because I've seen, look at the way he's acted to this point.
That's fine, but when you get to a point where it's after the trade deadline and they legitimately can't trade you anymore, then like, what's the point? You're just gonna not play basketball.
But are you even gonna get that? You're gonna let it get to that
You
point?
think he
Mike?
gets like a fake surgery?
Somebody
Tobes,
said, Waddle,
Tobes.
baby Waddle said, Leroy, you assuming he won't?
Tobes.
I have history on my side.
You do have history.
I have
on
what
your
he's
side.
done this year.
Listen,
Like,
they all thought
you-
that he was gonna come back off
Right.
of this sickness
It's
and thought that he was gonna
it's
play.
January 9th, gentlemen.
Isn't the trade deadline February?
February
It's like
6th.
February 6th. But his 7-game suspension ends next Friday.
So it's gonna be like 3 weeks. What is that?
Right.
So then, therefore, this is what I said. This is very weird. Probably, and this is probably all planned by the Miami Heat. They suspend him on a road trip. On road trips, you get close with the team. That's how the teammates. That's how the team gets close. That's how the team bond.
That West Coast trip.
West Coast trip long. You're away from your family. You only seen your
young guy,
teammates,
and your young guys are starting to ball.
And your young guys are starting to ball.
Jaime's playing the best he's played all year. Nico's playing great.
What are they now? They're 1-1 in this road trip, right?
1-2.
1-2.
No, yeah, 1-1.
1-1, right? What if they finish 4? What is it? 7 game or 6 game?
6 games.
6 game. What if they finish 4-2 on this road trip?
They definitely could. I mean,
All
listen,
right.
if they play to, if you just play by their betting lines, they probably should. Between
Karen that said Tobin is Bradley Beal.
What else?
So how do you bring him back?
That's and
it's hard.
It has and Vlad,
I guess the Heat. Well, here's the Heat's bet is if he does it again, they'll suspend him again. I think that's probably
my whole issue is this. All I have on record is what he told me versus what he's putting out there versus what he's saying. There is nothing that he's said or done that would indicate that he's going to come in and not be difficult.
Right. Butler's actions on and off the court, with Butler's actions on and off the court seen by Heat officials as increasingly problematic. Team sources say they opted to sit him for the entirety of this trip so that the issues could be addressed in earnest when the team returns home rather than on the road. Coincidentally, first game Butler would be eligible to return is against the 2023 finals opponent, the Denver Nuggets. Yeah. And then I think they also said on Tuesday night when the Heat beat the Warriors, so bad. Okay. On Tuesday night, after the Heat beat the Warriors so badly, the Golden State Warriors might want to rethink their choice not to pursue Butler. One prominent Heat player wondered out loud if this sensitive situation might continue past February 6th trade deadline.
Yeah.
What do you think the prominent player was? Do you think it was Tyler or Bam?
Wait, you think? Hold on. Now let's.
Kevin Love.
We all familiar.
Love.
We're all familiar with Jimmy, right? So my question is, if Jimmy doesn't get traded, you think he's gonna take an act right pill?
I don't know.
No, I do. You know damn well. You just don't want to say.
I do. Like I probably lean 70-30. He won't act right.
Is that just your way of trying to save a little?
No.
It's absolutely.
I don't have anything to save here.
You can't.
I don't have anything to save.
nothing.
I've already criticized Jimmy. I did not like what he did.
Show me the 30%.
My 30% is my 30% is basically if you got past the trade deadline, what else are you going to do? You're just gonna not play basketball for a year? That's what you're gonna do?
He could.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
He doesn't want to play for Miami.
Because you risk that much injury? Like
I just saw a 1'3" in the corner with no activity, with a guy who's very aggressive and plays most of his game in the paint.
But once you run out of dates, once you run out of dates, right? He does
think he's gonna say might as well play some basketball.
But he does. He
said that before the season
I get
started.
that, but he thought what I think he did is he pulled his last grenade pin. I think that he thought the last move I have, because I told you, I think that he got hurt in that Thunder game, said, I ain't risking it. I'm going to say I'm sick. Hopefully in these 2 weeks they trade me. Pat Riley comes with the statement, they're not trading me. So he goes to the practice. He says, I'm going to play as hard as I can with the knowledge that he wasn't. And he thought that was going to disgust the Heat so much that they would make the trade with the Suns. Now, I know that there was talks that said he had the Pelicans game and he said he was insulted because they said he didn't play hard, even though he didn't play hard. But I think all of that stuff has just been like extra,
That's cover your ass type.
Yeah, you're finding extra stuff to get mad at. We know what he's mad at. But once you're at the point where you legitimately have no options, there's not anybody, there's not Tyler, Kevin Love, Bam, Nico. Like, you do have to have, some relationship with these guys and be like, dude, well, what else are you going to do? You're going to not play basketball? Like, at that point, you don't think there's any chance, Leroy, any chance that his teammates can talk him into it?
Who does he respect?
Nico.
No, stop.
That's his guy.
Okay, it's guys. Listen, that's his little man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
like,
That's his
come on.
young OG. That's
I
it.
think sometimes.
Well, what if Tommy came up to you and said, "Daddy, you need to get right"?
Sometimes. Sometimes.
No,
No, I'm telling you. Let me tell you something. Sometimes the words of the youth are the purest. And I'm telling you.
But he has to respect.
No,
that.
what are you doing? Don't look at me like
dude,
that.
I'm
No,
not
no,
even.
no, no, no,
You
no.
are, dude.
It's true though.
Stop this.
It's true. It's like
Stop.
when you hear it from a kid's eyes sometimes, that sometimes it lands on you because he's not corrupted by anything, right? Like, what is Nico? Nico doesn't have an extension. He's just your guy, right? Like, he has Nico's picture up in his locker. He loves Nico.
Until he didn't get his money. If you let me tell
It's
you
not
something.
Nico's fault.
Let me tell you something. If you love somebody that you work with or whatever, or you have respect for them,
Mhm.
then you do your job because you don't want to make them look bad.
I understand.
Okay. So, like, Nico be damned. He done already said how you feel about Nico and Bam and Tyler, right? Like, his issues are not with his brates. They're not. They're with the organization, but he's made it about everybody.
That's a great idea.
I love you, Tobes. I
What?
feel because I feel
I said 70-30. I agree with you guys.
70-30. It should be 95-1.
No, it's not.
95-1-4.
You know, I feel Tobes doesn't want Jimmy to go. He doesn't.
I
like
don't
that,
want Jimmy to go.
but he
Nobody
can-
does.
But he can.
But I don't want him in this capacity.
I want this to be like a movie where it's just like, what is
Oh.
she gonna do, Jimmy?
I know what he needs.
Oh no.
Steven says he needs a cuddle therapist.
Oh no.
See, some people need that.
Yeah. Come on, man. Stop.
Dade South
Like,
is-
stop.
it's-
You're being
it's-
so naive.
I'm not being naive.
You are being
I
naive.
agree with you mostly.
Right.
I'm just leaving a window open.
Same percentages. Why?
But even though, okay, but then, but seriously, Tobin, how do you like? And Leroy, you've explained this. January 16th, next
Mhm.
Thursday, a week from today.
Yep.
Yeah.
They
Do
they
I
go-
think he tries hard?
No.
If he plays,
if they're to practice, is he going to be at that practice? Is he
they're not
gonna
gonna
be-
practice all
No,
the way
you
through.
know what? If they practice, he gonna do like he did in
that's
in Minnesota and just score 50 on the whole team.
But that'd be a good practice. Cause it'll be like Nico and like.
And then in the game, he gonna go stand in the corner.
And then he'll stand in the corner, but that would make Tobin happy because he'd be like, "Oh, he's playing with Killer Weller and Nico, and he's just busting the starter's ass." But no, if he comes back next week, the game against Denver, that's Friday.
yeah, but there's not gonna be a practice because they're coming off games off. The
Is
West
he
Coast.
going to be on? Is he going to be activated, or is he going to be coming off suspension?
This is what they say. This is what they say. I can only take them at their word, Vlad.
And how do you expect this relationship to be? Like,
Well,
it's frosty.
Think about this, dude. We're I know that the report says things move fast, but we've kind of been at the same spot now. We've just gotten different steps on the direction of all that suspension, but it's kind of been from the point of he's wanted to get to the Suns now, seemingly since his agent faked being mad at Shams.
You know what this is? You know what this is?
And you know what?
Tobin is acting like when Tommy and Sophie get in an argument and he want the argument to stop, but he, even though he knows one of them's dead wrong, he don't want to pick sides. So he's kind of.
I'm not. I'm not doing that. I'm trying to find a solution to
Dude,
an untenable
if I change-
situation.
The worst solution is him on the basketball court.
You think so?
No.
He has to listen. He's taken a situation that was between him and the Heat and included the players.
Agreed. Bad look.
So he's got to mend that fence.
Mhm.
Jimmy is not in the right place right now because he's not getting what he wants to go in there and understand that I got to make good and tell these guys it's not about them. I apologize and go make good and play because he's not playing. He thinks anything he does for the Miami Heat is for the Miami Heat. He's not acknowledging all the things that he said before about being with his brothers and I like going to battle with. Come on.
Right. But once you realize my plan didn't work. And
You think
didn't-
it? How many people do that?
It didn't work.
How many people in life do that?
I don't know, but
Nobody.
What's the plan?
You know
Doesn't
what they
work.
do? You know what they do? Double down. You know this.
It kind of feels like he already did that, though.
No, you. First of all,
What do you think he's gonna take a
look,
poop on the
no,
court?
here's what he's gonna do. He's gonna walk into a game in draws, right? He's gonna do something crazy like that.
Drinking a Michelob.
Drinking a Michelob Ultra, right? And then for pregame, he's gonna shoot numbered half courts shots and Harlem Globetrotter it, right? You come on, man. Like, all I'm saying is that that's what Jimmy is. I'm not blaming him for being mad at the organization.
Some guy says you got to stop giving Jimmy ideas.
Schmeathen said he's gonna take a one-legged poop.
But I'm just
right on Pat Riley's signature on the court.
I'm just saying, like the
literally it's a smear campaign.
My only problem I have is he's taken a situation he has with an organization and included the people he's supposed to be close.
That's my problem too. I haven't had a problem.
How does he fix that?
Got to talk to Nico. It's Nico's team now.
Come on, look, Tobin. Let's be real, bro. How is the leader of the team gonna talk to like one of the young guys? That doesn't work like that. That's why it's a bad look.
You think? Wait, you think based on you think he can go to Bam and have that conversation with Bam?
I don't know
Bam
if he
ain't
can. And he could throw some things like Bam. It's not like you playing very well, so I can't really be.
It ain't got nothing to do with playing, though.
I understand. I
He
understand.
could
But
I mean, like, listen, but like, what's Bam gonna do? Like, whoop his ass?
Because
if he doesn't play?
because here's the deal. Bam can go to everybody else,
of course,
and say, "Look, me and Jimmy had a talk."
But he's close. Like, this is the thing, though. Like, he's already he's close with Tyler. He's close with. He's like, I don't know if he's the closest.
Then why would you do that?
Because he wants his money.
Okay, but one has nothing to do with the other.
I agree with you, dude.
So that's my point. You're saying he's close with this guy. He's close to this guy.
I'm
He's
looking
real tight with this guy.
I'm just
and
looking.
Then you do that to your boys?
I know.
No.
It's a bad look. I know. But
No.
But Leroy, they can't just suspend him for nothing.
I know, but my point is this: even if they're playing on a court,
So you
together,
think they should just definitely trade him?
No, yeah, because even if he plays on the court, he ain't gonna go make. If he makes good with his teammates, I'm good.
Would you trade him for Bradley Beal? So just to get it out of your head?
now we've not. I mean, we talked about this a little, but you guys haven't really delved into this.
What's that?
What if there's not a market for Jimmy? What if there's not?
I said that.
Yeah, but it seems like
But like, what if there's not really a market for
well,
Jimmy?
there's two things that have happened. We actually got to take a break. But the two things that have happened is it seems like there was a trade that was really brewing close, because why would his agent all of a sudden leak to camps he doesn't want to go to Memphis?
He's also the same guy that said that Shams was lying, and Shams was
Yeah,
telling the
you
truth
can't.
the whole time.
You can't. Yeah, I know. Well, that the whole thing seems like it was WWE at this point. But
Very
I'm saying like the leaks that happened that he doesn't want to go to certain teams because he's only got one team that's guaranteeing him the money. That's it.
And
the reason they're doing that is because they're already paying that terrible money to somebody they don't want on their team. So
but
that's
it's crazy to me the way this guy has talked, that this is how he's acting. That's all that's all I care about. I don't like you can have a problem with the organization, you can have a problem with everybody, but don't talk about how tight you are. I ain't gonna tell you how tight I am and then go to Lynn and just drag you in the mud. No.
take a break. Back up to this.
Okay, and D Wade won 3 championships, and they wasn't giving him the $30 million deal when he couldn't play.
Mhm.
Right? Like, stop. We this is not about what Jimmy has done. Nobody's questioning what Jimmy has done. This is about what Jimmy can do. Do you have any question?
And in fairness to the Heat, they did give Jimmy his extension one after the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
So he's in the midst of that extension. It's like the Heat have never done
Right.
that by Jimmy
That's what
Butler.
I'm saying. So
You know?
so you understand that just because he's had more 40 and 50-point games, he's 35. You want the Heat to pay him $60 million in 2 years? And I promise you, if they did that, when those 2 years come up, you'll be saying, why did they sign this deal?
Well, gentlemen, let's give the Miami Heat a round of applause.
Why?
They're an established NBA franchise.
Right.
You know why?
Because they don't pay guys like that.
No, not only because of that, because now you have a rift in fan base. Team Riley, team player. You know how this movie's going to end.
It's going to end Team Riley.
It always ends with Team Riley.
But here's the
and
deal.
then in 5 years from now, you'll all be coming to a game against maybe the Detroit Pistons or the Minnesota Timberwolves, where number 22 will be put up in the rafters. This always ends like that.
Yeah, but
it happened with 33. It happened with 32. It happened with 6. It happened with 3. It's going to happen like
The
that.
one thing I would say with this, Vlad, though, that is a little different, I do think Pat Riley's taken more heat on this, no pun intended. I think that he's taken more fan heat from this because I do feel like a lot of fans were critical of Riley for not being able to pull the trigger on anything big for Jimmy.
And
so I do think that there is a lot more animosity. You know, with the Wade thing, people were just mad that it all happened and heartbroken that it happened. But I do think that people kind of understand or feel that Jimmy was wronged here. And I think especially nationally, people are looking at this and saying Pat Riley's in the wrong here. Jimmy's in the right.
It's easy to do that.
I could say he was wronged if he was playing all these games and being there and go, look, I have nothing. Like, remember when Kobe didn't take no shots when they were in the playoffs? And he was like, this is what I have around me, right? Do something. But the one thing Kobe was present every game. So he could do something like that.
Kobe also said he was never going to play for the Lakers.
No, I know, of course. But look, again, I don't pay attention to that. I can pay attention to that.
Means there's
I
time
don't
to
pay
come-
attention
time
to
to
that
come back,
because
baby.
that's
There's
things.
time to come back.
Baby,
Okay,
come back.
Again,
Barry Jackson.
Kobe never had to go in the locker room and apologize for his actions.
We don't know about that.
Well, no, he just traded off whoever he wanted, whoever was against those
But it's
actions.
probably a good chance he probably
No,
never
but
had
I'm
to
saying,
apologize.
I'm here. Let me put it this way. Besides that one playoff game, when he was making a point, he never quit on his team.
No.
That's what I'm saying. So any complaints that he may have had have come from a place of, I'm giving you everything. Is that fair to say?
And he was also young. This is different. This guy's he's 35 and he's like, we know he's 38, 39 and 10.
Well, everybody
10
thinks
years.
that's the thing, though, is the Lakers did that. One of the things they did for Kobe that everybody kind of thought was crazy, but is
They
at
gave
the
him
end
that
they
going
gave
away
they gave him the going away present with a torn Achilles.
Yeah, but
and everybody and that kind of was one of those things. Is everybody feels like they're entitled to the golden parachute at the end,
But
and especially
no.
with the money being as crazy as it is.
No, you have to win 5 titles and really be, a lineage, a link to the history of an organization. The reason why I said this is because I'm always team player, but I side with Riley on this, bro. And I understand why. And I think the people that do side with Riley or the hardcore, they've been there since the inception, or at least since Riley and the Carnival Cruise in 95, in the summer of 95, they've been there. They've been there, so they've seen Riley establish a culture, the culture, a legacy. They've seen Riley do it all. I think a lot of the people might be born during the young Heat fan base, born during the Big 3 era, or maybe a little bit after the Big 3 era.
Stupid kids.
They're all about what's present right now, what's in, what's relevant. Oh, you're not paying Jimmy. Jimmy's all of that.
Younger
Jim
people,
VP.
younger people don't see the ramifications of paying a player $60 million and not
They
him,
don't.
and him not being able to play.
No, and trust us, we were probably, well, not you, Leroy, because you were an actual athlete, but us, like Tobin and myself, were probably those fans those younger fans that was like, oh, pay everybody. You start getting the business, start learning more, start reading more, you start understanding it's a little bit more than just the games that are played.
The other thing that I think that just has put the Heat in this perspective is like they feel like, for all this, like the Gilbert Arenas comments the other day where they're like, oh, you run it like a prison. And I feel like the Heat's perspective on it is like, dude, we've bent on Jimmy so much.
Yeah, but
all of
everybody
our stuff.
see, we know that.
I
The Heat
know.
know that. Everybody doesn't know
But
that.
when he's talking about people picking sides and paying, like the Heat have done a lot of
Everybody
that stuff.
doesn't.
They've let a lot of
Here.
stuff slide with Jimmy.
So people
Jimmy's
hear,
were-
people hear that
Mhm.
without knowing the reality of it. We know the reality of it. You bend over backwards for a guy. You expect certain things in return. That's why you're doing it. And if you don't get that, and you get to the point where you say, I'm not bending over backwards no more for you.
Look, I was team pay Jimmy, but two things have like I was hopeful that he wasn't going to do it. I thought that you just come out here, just ball this year. Just go do it.
Is what he said.
That's what he said he was going to do. And I was like, cool. I was, the Heat thinking that he would have gone T-Wolves. Like you would have thought like, hey, after, what is it? 7 years ago since he pulled the T-Wolves thing, did the Rachel Nichols interview.
Mm-hmm.
You would have thought like, hey, this is a grown man. You got to be too tired for that. Apparently not. The dude's petty is strong.
All right, his petty is strong.
His petty is strong.
Petty's strong with this one. Let me ask you this. This is another elephant in the room nobody's talking about.
Hmm?
I think the Heat were not involved in a conference or meeting because it was about them. I think there's a league-wide focus on not helping the Heat at all in any of this situation. The Dame situation went left. You never and before has a superstar wanted to leave.
I've seen a lot of people
never got that.
I've seen the thing with the Dame thing, but here's the difference with the Dame thing compared to the Jimmy thing. Like the Heat never said they didn't want Jimmy Butler. They don't want to extend Jimmy Butler. The difference with the Damian Lillard thing is the Blazers didn't want him anymore. They wanted to tank.
Right.
They were ready to move on from him, which the big thing with everybody with Dame is like, hey, Dame's been your guy. Do right by him and send him where he wants to go. You guys are going to suck no matter what anyway.
And
What's
then-
the difference?
And then Cronin got all
He got in his feelings, and I
sensitive
do think
because first of all, when you have the upper hand, you don't always have to say you have the upper hand because then people become petty. That's what happened.
Right. And
that's what happened.
He got
you
too
should,
cute.
Well, you want to
They
talk
blew-
about probably should have kept your mouth shut.
The thing
There's a situation right there where nobody in the Heat organization just said nothing.
Right.
Should have just let it happen.
But the difference with all of the difference between this and the Dame thing is one, Dame already had his full-fledged contract. They didn't want to play with him anymore. They
Right.
wanted to move on. Do you remember the articles came out that Dame went to the facility and nobody would talk to him at the Damian Lillard. That's the difference with the Jimmy thing. The Jimmy thing is Jimmy comes here and it's like, all right, dude, like we can't work it out, but like let's just play. Like you still got 2 years, $100+ million guaranteed. So I get all the people who want to be cute, just send him where he wants to go. But it's a little bit different, you would say, where their other option is, yeah, but we'll be cool
There's
if you
a
play.
different- there's
The
a
Blazers
difference-
didn't want him to play for them.
There's a difference in when the team is the catalyst behind it and the player is.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference. How can a team say they don't want Dame Lillard? Wow.
Take a break. Back after this. with you here, 560 WQAM. Couple of hobnobbers. What are they? Hobnobbing?
No, it's not hobnobbing. Leroy got us wings, and wings are good, boy.
Oh, you got the ones from downstairs?
Oh, man. Yeah, man.
Those wings are good, dude.
They are phenomenal.
Those things are good. I told you about those. I'm back. You know where I got those? Randomly, my wife and I, we didn't have time to. We had like a quick anniversary lunch one time. I don't remember what the circumstances were last year. But we ended up just going down there, and I was like, these are the best wings I think I've ever eaten in my life.
These wings are good.
They're good, dude.
Nice and crunchy.
Yeah, what's the name? Do we know what the name of that place is?
No,
I forget.
The place on the right. When
It's the Caribbean place at the Citadel, and get the jerk wings. They're incredible.
Oh.
Listen, not that the Citadel doesn't take enough of our money, because my God, you got to take out a second mortgage to get those wings. But they are the greatest wings of your life.
I mean, let's see.
You gotta take a second mortgage just to get something out of the
No, not actually. Think about this: 10 wings for $13 is not terrible.
Not terrible. Well, you know what? Compared to the rest of the stuff down there,
Oh my goodness,
that's a bargain.
Definitely.
What do you got to give for like a burger? It's like $17.
Oh my goodness, and
For
it's
like
not even a smash burger.
And the firstborn.
It's the size of my hand.
Headlines brought to you by Doral Hyundai.
That's why I won't get cheeseburgers from certain places. Just the principle behind
Agreed.
being able to put. If you pack your hamburger in one of them little boxes, I ain't buying it ever.
And also, how much is the cheese? How does a burger go from
$1?
Yeah, how does a burger go from $10 to like $15? Wait, what?
Exactly.
Just for the cheese?
Headlines brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose from 1,300 new Hyundai models in inventory at the Tucson, the Scion, and the Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. Let's see here. Barry Jackson, the great Barry Jackson. He reported less than 20 minutes ago, per source, Heat still trying to trade Butler, but still no appealing offer, and plan at this point, barring a trade, is Butler rejoining the team next Friday for the Denver game. Also, Kevin Love.
This could go into hell. The saying, this could go to hell in a handbasket real quick.
Hey, listen, man, I can't lie. As a man who does like chaos, I'm looking forward to being BOTG on next Friday. I would like to beat Denver once in a while. You know, they always kick our ass.
Because they got that giant.
He's a giant.
And he moves slow.
Well, we got our
does
own.
whatever he wants on the basketball.
We got our own. We got our
Ooh.
own giant Serbian now.
Oh, it's about the Serbian. I thought you were gonna give Khalil Ware some love, like
Dude, I'm telling you, Vlad, it's my favorite part of games now. The 18 minutes I get with Khalil and Nico on the floor together. Woo! They're like passing to each other. It's so much fun.
See, and this is what I love about you, Topes, because now you're starting to see that the Jimmy era might be over, but you love the young guys.
Absolutely.
So you have some new kids to love and grow with, and become your favorite players.
Hey, I would do this with the Marlins too. The Marlins have just given me horse bleep young guys for the last 10 years. Like I like watching young guys.
The thing I hate about baseball, and this is what I hate, especially down here, because I've seen it mostly. You trade for young guys. Then when they get good enough, you got to pay them. You trade again. At some point, you got to settle in with those guys instead of keep trading for new guys.
But Leroy, you spent more money on those wings than the Marlins did.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think the Marlins have spent $1 in free agency. Not $1.
They did because they put it all in the front office.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's
Front
right.
office of what?
Bruce Sherman let us know. You guys don't talk about that. Oh, yeah, you're right, Bruce, because I definitely go to the ballpark to watch guys on computers. That's what I love it. I love it. Come to Mullins Park, everybody, where today we're going to do calculus. Now batting trigonometry.
He's back after Tommy John surgery, which everybody has here.
You know, I've always said you got to find a good radius there, Bob. All right. Now, this is Square Root's first time in the cleanup spot. We'll see what he can do. Hopefully, it's twice as good as what the 2 spot did. That's math. That's math comedy.
Batting second, radius.
How would we say that in Spanish? Because, you know, nobody's American.
Where? In the fan base?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you want to say in Spanish?
Radius.
Give me some math jokes in Spanish.
She's like,
She's ducking out on that.
You know what my favorite thing about somebody that speaks another language? When you ask them, how do you say this? And you go, it doesn't translate like that.
But it's true.
You look on that score sheet, that SS does not stand for shortstop. It stands for spreadsheet.
So it says radius in Spanish is radio, which
Radio Mambi.
yeah,
So you
there's-
can hear the La Voz, the Heat call.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. They still have them? Yeah, I think still.
Yeah.
It always feels like it's Radio Mambi. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, what else we got here as far as headlines are concerned? We got the semifinal tonight. Notre Dame takes on Penn State at 7:30. Notre Dame
who
is
do you
a
think?
slight favorite?
Who do you think is the betting favorite to win a national championship?
Ohio State.
Tobes?
Notre Dame.
Ohio State.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would have thought Notre Dame because they're popular.
Oh, dude,
It's pretty.
The
20
intangibles love Notre Dame.
But the $20 million that
Oh,
they spend in Ohio State and Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
Did he busted the headphones again?
No, the thing plug came out.
Oh.
Hey, that Rudy thing wasn't a hit for nothing. They could all relate.
Rudiger.
right,
Rudiger.
right. Come on. Like
Leroy, if Rudiger tried to, if Rudiger tried to tackle you, what would you have done to Rudy? Come on, be honest. If Rudy tried to tackle you,
the fact that he would come up with all that effort would make me smile.
you're a mean person.
I would just be like this. Man, I'm sure glad I get to face one of you every now and then.
Some NFL news.
That's an intangible you want to meet up with.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, you go to the club afterwards? Like, I'm winning. If you around, I am winning.
Some NFL news. Zay Flowers, he is out for the wild card game this week.
Let me tell you how I'm telling you right now how he hurt his knee. That's how you hurt stuff. Like just the weirdness in which somebody fell on his leg. Yeah.
They were the biggest favorite this week. I wonder if that'll affect the line.
Well, that's the one team that has his number, Lamar.
But here's the other thing. I would say this. The one thing that has changed in all the other years, I would say, is having 22 back there. That being said, we also have been sleeping on the fact that Baltimore's defense hasn't been as good. So Russ might be able to cook. That's the thing that worries me. It's not Lamar. It's that defense has been giving up some points.
Some fight news. Joe Rogan, of course, a longtime analyst for the UFC, he has walked back a claim that he said on one of his podcasts where he said that John Jones was asking for $30 million to fight Tom Aspinall in the heavyweight unification match, and that the UFC was going to pay it. He has since said on his next podcast, quote, "We were talking about John Jones, and I had heard a rumor that John Jones wanted $30 million to fight Aspinall. And I did hear that rumor, and I heard the UFC said yes, but that is not true. Dana White contacted me and said that rumor is bull bleep."
No, here's what Dana White said. Yo,
Stop snitching.
Don't put my business out there. You're
jamming up
taking
business.
away all my leverage.
Yeah, you're jamming up the business. Stop
Right.
snitching.
That's how that conversation went. Like, come on, we got to be smarter than that.
And believe you me, it didn't go like that. There was a lot of expletives.
Oh yeah. I tell you what, that was one of the coolest things we ever did. Interview him and see the board behind him.
The War Room. Yeah.
The War Room.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Joe said, "I feel obligated to tell everybody that it was a fake rumor. I don't even remember because unfortunately we did that podcast 2 weeks ago. I don't even remember who told me that." He's saying apparently John Jones is now thinking about retiring instead of fighting Tom Aspinall.
Yeah, so he can get 40 million.
Let's see that
So
fight.
see how easy it is, as long as you don't do nothing stupid, to walk back something stupid you may have said.
Mhm.
Okay. The problem with Jimmy and Tyreek is they have actions and not just words. The actions are what they have to make up for.
It's hurt you, doesn't this, Tobin?
This day?
Just this whole last 2 weeks with your
Wait. When he first got suspended, this is Tobin. Good. I want the chaos. I can't wait till he gets back. That's what
That
he was.
wasn't direct.
No,
quote.
no,
That
no,
was
no,
the
no, no,
first
no,
thing.
no,
You
no, no.
don't
No.
What did you
no,
say?
No.
You bet not.
Hold on,
dude.
What we said, I went to practice.
No, we
I
didn't
went to
say
the
nothing.
first practice back from the,
We
and
didn't
I like to put this in air quotes now for everybody, the illness. I went to the first practice back, and you guys made fun of me because he was all jovial. He was like, gonna play, gonna give it all my. It's nice to play hard, but it's better to be wanted. And then I asked him about Pat Riley, and he gave me the death stare.
Yeah, that look. By the way, I never talked to you about that. Man,
when I got that look, that should have been my insight into that should have been the tip.
You know what that look is, Leroy? Child please.
Yeah.
That's the child please.
When I brought up PR to him, he brought that look that should have told us chaos is coming.
And you never said you can't wait for the chaos?
I do enjoy chaos.
Oh,
but this is what's bothering him.
You said this, by the way, January 6th.
Oh, look at that. 3 days ago. That was the first day, Monday.
I said what, January?
Monday this week.
I can't wait for the chaos because you said
Not
I can't
only
wait till
that,
Jimmy gets
but
back.
Oh, I can't wait for Friday. I'm definitely like if Jimmy Butler is still on the team, you're telling me that's not the must-watch game of the week?
Not only that, but I have here in my notes, Tobin roots for dysfunction.
Where did I say that?
January 6th.
January 6th.
I did not say that 3 days ago. What would I mean, we were already in the midst of chaos.
No,
It
but
was
it was your first day back from
latest,
chaos.
Jimmy Butler saga. And then we
I don't
got
recall saying that.
We got suspended for
I don't
7
recall
games.
saying that.
And then you were rooting for just
You misremembered?
I don't recall
There you
saying
go.
that.
the same day that you were saying how Bradley Beal was being bullied.
He is being bullied.
Mhm.
He is being bullied. And Stephen A. Smith is now part of the bullying. Which, by the way, Stephen A. Smith, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Tobin, unbelievable. But Tobin, wait, you just find candy
you
out of
find a
nowhere?
whole bag
What
of
are you
Hershey's Kisses?
doing?
Like, geez, what else you got in there, man? Your shoulder pads? Your neck pads?
You're not done snacking?
No, I'm going to have some more wings when I'm done.
All right, we'll take a break. Go get some more wings. Back after this.
This is what I'm looking for.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you.
The wings are good, man.
They're delicious. They are delicious. I got a bone to pick with somebody.
It should be the Jimmy or Tyreek.
Nope.
Well, after eating chicken, there's definitely a bone to pick.
You giving them a pass?
Is it me
Nah.
for keeping receipts?
It's actually not you for keeping receipts.
Is it me?
Because your receipts are flimsy.
Is it Marcos?
Your receipts are flimsy.
How are they flimsy?
Because you're just like, you said it, and I'm like, when?
But I have notes on it.
I
I
but
can
I can't
literally
trust
go
it.
trace
But
back to the video and show it.
I would like to hear it.
Thing
I'd
is
like to hear
that then I have to. Okay, so this happened a couple days ago. It's already out of where I do my clips.
Convenient.
I'll do it on Twitch. Never mind.
Oh, she's like, I got.
Now
all
you
the-
want to go ahead and say I'm flimsy.
I got all the
I'm gonna go
social-
I just
flip
said
it
you
down.
had flimsy receipts, but there's one person who doesn't, and he drives me nuts, and I'm sick of him. To be honest with you, I'm sick of him.
Of who?
Oh, I
Dade
know.
South.
What did he do?
So yesterday, I'm trying to have this good moment, right? I'm trying to hand the keys over to Nikola Jovic. Hand the keys over to Nikola Jovic. Just be like, you know what? I think it's going to be his franchise.
Oh,
Hand the keys
yeah,
over to him.
Little sweetener.
This mother bleeper. I don't know what Rolodex that he has on social media.
No, Dade South has an unbelievable mental Rolodex of anything that is said on this show.
It's insane. So yet, here we are, Leroy. If you could see the tape, go back and look what Dade South decided to post on my video where I was praising Nico. He's like, remember when you said this?
Just saying, like, you hose down a guy who's been an NBA player for 2 seconds. You think maybe he would be nervous? Maybe he's just a little anxious? No, you hosed him down anyway. You go, woo, Jovic, woof. I'm like, wow.
Dude, but you should have seen Jovic.
I didn't even know he was
It
playing
pretty bad,
basketball.
dude. It was pretty bad.
Oof.
I
think one of the games
He's
was like
19.
Well, listen, 19 Tyler Hero was balling out in the bubble, dude.
Wait a minute. Did you now? Unless
I
you
remember
pass
that.
gas, unless
I
you pass
remember that.
gas, unless you let out a scent from your derriere, why was the waving of stink that you did towards Nico's name?
I mean,
Look
you
at
guys,
that face.
look.
Look at that face.
It looked like whoa, Lego,
A
it looked like an
19
Eggo.
a 19-year-old nonetheless.
Yeah, that looked like
it was
you.
a really bad performance, though. I remember that. Preseason, dude. I mean, come
So
on.
does anybody get an opportunity to grow with you?
He did. I mean, look where he's come from. The stink face.
You threw him in 17 trades.
No, I threw him
Him
in.
and
No.
Tyler.
I threw him in one
Yeah, but
trade.
he throws all his favorites in trades.
I threw him in one trade. Okay, and I threw him in one trade. I call him a little sweetener.
One trade.
People call me a hater, but I tell you what, I'm not. I'm not wishy-washy.
I'm not wishy-washy either, though.
Yes, you are.
I'm not wishy-washy.
You are.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness!
Praise Nikola Jovic more than me.
No.
The same guy who trashed him.
It's okay. That's you wanted to cause me. Fair and balanced. That's what I am. I say
Do
it
you
like
not
it is.
Remember this right here?
I do remember that. Really wanted to.
You wanted to trade all of the intangibles. I'm already disgusted.
Chirp. The shock in Leroy's voice.
The audacity.
So
Closed now.
explain yourself, Tobin. You've never
July Sports Talk. No big deal.
Oh, July Sports
Yeah,
Talk.
you can't take July Sports Talk serious.
But January Sports Talk we take serious, right?
Yeah, but I didn't say that Nico thing in January.
No,
That
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Whatever you're about to say right now.
That was after 5 minutes of Nico playing in NBA.
Yeah, but I stuck with him.
You had a big choice in that one, did you?
I stuck with him, dude. I've been calling for Niko Jovic minutes more than anybody, more than Nico's mother.
Even after you called him garbage?
I have standards.
As a guy who's never played a sport, how high are your standards?
Not very high.
Higher than that preseason game. Ooh.
And it was a preseason game.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe Summer League. I don't recall.
Wow, Leroy already 9 days.
Actually, I think it was Summer League.
Nine days into the new year. You're ready. You're ready to about to go. You're ready to go. So who you upset again? Because that's how you started. You were upset with Dade South for pointing this out at.
You know, like I put a little clip of our show yesterday, giving Nico the keys to the organization. He feels it's appropriate to mention that one time I gave him the stink face. Whoa. One time. My ratio of Nico praise to Nico criticism is like 99-1. You didn't believe in him?
Me?
Yeah.
How I feel about tall people
Mm-hmm.
on this team?
You didn't believe
I
him.
know that's a damn lie.
Not like me.
I know. Listen to the clip again. Who is the one defending Nico?
You defend anything against me.
I just agreed with you earlier today.
I know. It's very strange.
So maybe I'm just keeping it real.
Dade's house is July 6, 2022. See? Doesn't count. July sports talk is not serious sports talk.
Literally 19 months ago.
Why? Question. Why, if we didn't know what happened on this show,
Yeah,
we could just go to Day South. Hey, Day South, remember that time when Tobin said, got it? Hold on. Got it. Sending it over. Like, come on, dude.
What?
Like, I just keep it real. You're the one that's all willy-nilly with your takes, with your criticisms of people, right? Do you understand how you went off on Nico?
I didn't go off on him. I just said, oof.
And me personally, I've always been a fan of the Heat getting size, right? So you can't say that I've ever said anything negative about Nico.
I think he just turned 19 too, because
Right.
his birthday's in June.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Young fella.
yeah.
Mhm.
And you gave him zero breaks.
I don't.
You
give
know what
anybody
your ass
breaks.
was doing at his age? Trying to sneak kegs into the dorm.
Successfully though.
So you were a winner back then?
My purr was unbelievable.
This guy.
Party efficiency rating.
That would be Kerr. Keg efficiency rating.
Take a break. Back up to this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Listen, dude, when food gets in your scope, it doesn't matter what I say.
So I asked Tobin, I said, hey, I found this candy in my bag. Should I have a go at it? He goes, you've already made up your mind.
You know you did.
I mean, this been in my bag.
5 years.
He made up his mind last segment.
1987.
Let's be real.
I don't know. No, it's been, look, it's not melted.
Did you have it in your Minnesota locker room after 94?
No. I was there till 2000.
Yeah, you might have been there from 2000.
Look, it's still firm. Look, it's not mushy. You know how chocolate can get. Okay.
Drew Rosenhaus today
You
was
ain't crunchy. You ain't chewing too. You ain't chewing too good right there, buddy.
No.
Man.
Let's do it.
Drew Rosenhaus today was on the Pat McAfee show, which is in Miami for the Orange Bowl. And he said that Tyreek Hill is committed to the Dolphins. He says that he represents 13 players. This is from Dave Feroz's Twitter. Represents 13 Dolphins players. Not one of them has a complaint about Tyreek Hill.
Not to him. What the hell is wrong with you, Drew? Listen, I like you. You do a hell of a job. But why would they complain to you?
Said Tyreek Hill broke his wrist against the Commanders in training camp. Wasn't going to miss the season. Wanted to play.
I thought he broke his wrist with the cops.
No, I think he messed up his knee with the cops.
He said wrist. He said left wrist before.
He said wrist.
So
he has a broken wrist?
He said broke. He's saying broken.
It would seem like he would be more understanding as to why he couldn't catch the ball, right?
He also said the Dolphins have many more worries. Tyreek Hill is not one of them.
Listen, Drew, good job in putting a twist on that thing. But nobody asked him the question.
He also
the only question I have about this whole situation.
Did he quit?
Why did he quit playing?
He said, this is from Will Manso, when asked, does he want to be a Dolphin? He was asked by Darius Butler. He said, I got to talk with Tyreek. I'm not going to say he does or he doesn't. You haven't talked? What do you mean? You haven't talked with him about whether he wants to be on the team or not? It was kind of a big deal, Drew. Something tells me that Drew Rosenhaus, knowing how on point he is, I don't know. What is today? Thursday? Something tells me that you've talked to Tyreek about whether or not he wants to be a Dolphin.
I also think he went, oh no, when Tyreek talked.
Probably.
I just, like, all the stuff that he's talking about, all the stuff that Tyreek is talking about, right? I don't care about that. That's normal talk. We'll all forget about that in 6 months. Nobody's going to forget about him quitting.
Mm-hmm.
So address that. Whether you want to be here or not, right? It'll look pretty ridiculous if you come out and say, I don't want to be here after you quit on the team. It would look terrible.
By the way.
Yes, Jennifer?
Speaking of addressing things.
Okay.
I have footage.
Of
you.
Oh. What do you mean, dude? What did I say?
You rooting for chaos.
Run the tape. Run the tape.
What are you, Ron Rothstein?
Yeah.
Movement on the Grizzlies betting line, which I don't know who's betting on Jimmy Butler future teams. It does appear very much like, and I don't want to just throw accusations out there,
but buckle up.
It appears the Phoenix Suns are bullying Bradley Beal. Like, they're being very mean to him. It appears he's been frozen out by Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. Yesterday,
he's always hurt.
Yesterday, Chris Haynes comes out and says he is being demoted from the starting lineup along with Nurkic. And apparently there is what Haynes refers to as tension in the locker room because they've stunk. I mean, but why does Jimmy Butler want to go there? Because their owner is very rich and he will pay Jimmy Butler whatever he wants. However, the Heat are not taking back Bradley Beal, so they need to find a third team. There's some stuff out there. There's some mechanisms of maybe Detroit. I've seen a Detroit, Tim Hardaway Jr., Tobias Harris back to the Heat with picks. They take on Bradley Beal. They lost Jaden Ivey, and the Suns get Jimmy Butler. Now, this all is prevalent on Bradley Beal has to waive his no-trade clause and say, I want to go play in Detroit. Now he did play in Washington, so I mean he's been in some bad on some bad teams.
Right now.
I don't want to accuse anybody of it. It appears that locker room and that team is trying to bully,
shame him,
trying to shame him. And let me just say, Bradley, you stand tall, my friend. Don't feel like you need to say yes to anything.
Wait a minute.
Now, is this an hour 2 of the program? Stand tall, Bradley.
You do realize that you can't get what you want.
Jeffy, this looks like a 10-minute clip. I
No.
feel like I'm rooting for chaos.
Well,
At this point.
You already have chaos.
You might be right about that.
You already have chaos. You got Jimmy chaos.
This is bizarre.
So how much more chaos could you want?
I now want to see what it's like if he tries to come back.
Yeah.
There.
And honestly,
Hey,
Leroy.
No.
I don't know. You can stop it.
You.
This
What?
was weird.
You
I saw
come
2
on this
Tobins,
show
2 Leroys, 2
and you make
producers,
fun
and just still one
all the
JFig.
dysfunction on
Well, it was probably before
in
12:30.
any sport. And now you're rooting for it for the Heat?
Yes. You got to admit though, like you're kind of excited to see what happens on Friday.
Oh, next Friday?
You're kind of excited.
Absolutely.
You can't tell me you're not a little intrigued.
But Tobes, don't say that you're intrigued because
Hey,
people in
I think it's 70-30. It doesn't get there.
get where?
You think 70% he gets traded, or 70% he just never plays for the Heat again?
70% he doesn't play again.
I think he gets brought out.
I believe you. I think it's probably higher than that. I think I agree.
Like
There'll be some
the circumstances and what that would do to this team. Right now, I will say this: if Jimmy talks to the players and they're cool, all bets are off. But that don't sound like something Jimmy would do.
Can they buy him out?
No. What?
Jimmy Butler.
Guaranteed crime. The Players Association won't let him do it.
Jimmy Butler doesn't want to take a buyout.
Wait. Well, Vlad, give yourself a -1.
What?
Just give yourself a -1.
Forget. All right.
A guy who's complaining about not getting paid is going to work out a damn deal?
I mean, if he wants to get to where he wants to get to, it doesn't seem like it's gonna get there, bro.
You know what though? I don't know what the deal is with because like don't forget he wants like his bird rights and all that type of stuff. So I don't know if like
bird rights. You don't need bird rights when you're 40.
No, you do. Though.
No, you
like
do.
if you get traded to a team, you get to keep all of your rules.
Yeah,
right?
because he's been with Miami for
so
over
like
5 years.
if he took a buyout, like I don't think that works out in the best for him. He wants to keep all his money and get his extension. So no, I don't think he's gonna take it. I don't think he's
So
gonna
if he doesn't want to win, so definitely it's all we know it's about money, but it's not about winning a ring as well. It's just all about the money.
Why would the Grizzlies be told to back off if it was about winning?
Because remember, that was the first team. Remember, Tobin, when I heard the Jimmy rumors, I said that's the team he should go to. If there was ever a good link.
It seems like they were interested.
And then all of a sudden he says no. So that means he wants to go to a particular place.
That almost makes it worse than the fact that he wants to go to Phoenix.
Chief
right?
says, careful with saying bird rights around JFig. I had the right to remain silent forever.
Just put me there. It's fine.
All right, JFig. I admit that I said that I was rooting for chaos.
Well, you don't. Oh, now you admit it? Will we show you video evidence?
I am rooting for.
We don't need your admission now.
Dude, I'm genuinely intrigued to see what the hell happens. You can't tell me you're not.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine that they would allow it to get that far. Because what Jimmy's going to come in and say, hey, guys, I promise.
But they're already telling the players, like, hey, get ready for it.
They're maybe just doing that for Jimmy's camp.
Maybe.
See, it's all about bargaining, right? So who's going to be more uncomfortable? Pat Riley or Jimmy Butler going back into that locker room?
Is the Heat's next move to say, we did agree to a deal and Jimmy Butler didn't want to go? Is that the next public thing that comes out?
Yeah, he did say I'd go anywhere.
That's what it was. Like, is that their next play, though?
When it gets closer to the deadline.
All right. Well, that's our show, everybody. We'll talk to you rascals tomorrow.